Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the FPL Tom YouTube channel ahead of Game Week 14, is it? Yeah, Game Week 14 deadline. We're, of course, here, the first midweek Premier League round of the season, and you know what that usually means. It's starting to feel a little bit Christmassy. So, yeah, things are looking very, very good as we head into this week. There's obviously a lot to discuss, again, heading into this week off the back of a very good free hit in FPL Game Week 13. As you can see, my rank above me right now, 139,000. Zooey mama. That was some big, that was a big week. Very, very good week. Very happy with that one. As you can see, we are live, and this is the team we've gone with for this week. I can't even get my words out. I'm that excited today. I think I might have left my radiator on. So what I'm going to do is just give it 1 minute and just go and check. Because if I have, then I'm going to absolutely boil and die alive in this room. So give me 1 second. I'm just going to go for it and turn that off. So give me 1 second, all right? 1 second. Ow. I've also damaged my groin at this point. Ow. Yeah, my groin is also absolutely finished as well. Yeah, looking in the chat, who have we got in here already? My mouse is buggered. I have no idea what's going on with this start of this stream. It is mental, but here we are. Zen's in the chat, one of our channel members and cartel members as well. Hope you're doing good. FPL Amateur says, lurking on the GG channel. Yeah, I was in the chat earlier with Tom while I was just finishing up at work, so... Yeah, thought I'd come say hello to my good friend Tom. Abby's in the chat as well. She says, good afternoon, everyone. Tom, Ov don't know my situation. Decided that I don't take a hit and start Alderente. Yep, FPL Meerkat has predicted that Alderente won't start. Ugh. If he's not starting, then yeah, maybe you do take the hit then. Maybe you do take the hit. Maybe it's going to be worth it. Bad boy in the chat. He says, sup, Tomo. I'm doing good. Another hello, Tom. Hello, bro, as well from Brawl Lover 32. He says, have you done a wild card? Nope. This is just my regular team. This is just my regular team. So, yeah, no wild card with this one. I went trip out for O'Reilly. Fair enough. I think O'Reilly's a good pick, but obviously we're heading into a busy festive period with lots of games in quick succession. Could end a little bit dicey. Let's just put it that way. Could end very, very dicey, to be fair. Nice of you to stream now, Tom. Yeah, you know me. I always love the early streams. Got a half day off work today for this. So, yeah, happy to do some team ratings and all that good stuff and help you guys out as best as I possibly can. Time we're going to do team ratings. We'll do them every half an hour from 1:30. So 1:30. 2:30, 3:30, and then the final one at 4 o'clock. So plenty of rounds for you to get your team into. Of course, I've put the post up on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, as usual. So make sure you're getting yourself over to that as well. And yeah, let me know what you think of the new background as well. We've gone for a little bit of a Christmas effect. It's literally the same background. I've just overlaid some Christmassy kind of effects on the side as well. So yeah, there you go. Yep, I was in the Golden stream a little bit earlier. We were chatting along. Me and Tom, very good friends. Obviously, we run the cartel together as well. If you want to go and check that out, there is a link in the description where you can come and chat to us. It's a joint podcast. We've got joint Discord server. So yeah, there's where we're at. And Buemo or Bruno captain? I would probably lean more towards Bruno captain in my personal view, but I understand obviously if you want to go for Buemo, decent non-penalty XGI, but recent weeks has been a little bit disappointing. I doubt he'll probably start the next 6. Like, just because somebody's off to AFCON doesn't automatically mean like they're going to start the next 6 and stuff like that. It's just not going to happen. I have Saliba out, risk. James will definitely be benched. Do you think I should free hit or risk it, start Saliba? I think you could go for the free hit. I think genuinely you could go for the free hit. I'd be tempted with the free hit. There's some decent one-sided fixtures this week. If you've not got like Bruno or Mbeumo, like, yeah, I would be tempted to go with it. Like a front three of Bruno, Mbeumo, and Cunha could really slap. Like a João Pedro maybe as well, a Chalobah. Like there's some good fixtures to attack this week as well. So yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind that. Go for it. Tom's, congrats on your TikTok followers. Saw your post. Yeah, it's gone a bit mad, hasn't it? Yeah. 1.1 million views on the TikTok. And yeah, 28k followers now over on there. So it was always behind the YouTube. Now it's wildly ahead of it. So yeah, I guess we've got to play some catch up on the old YouTube, right? Good afternoon. Can you clarify what happens with your 5 free transfers in game week 16? Can you carry them through to 17, 18, or do you have to use them all? You don't have to use them all, but you're going to have to use one. Otherwise, you'll burn, if that makes sense, because you're always going to keep getting one. So as long as you use one in game week 16, they'll then have one for game week 17. One for game, like, you get what I mean. Michael Keane isn't good to put because Bournemouth is good, right? Yeah, Bournemouth are a good team at home. And interestingly, Everton have never beaten Bournemouth at the Vitality. And I think they've only ever won once against them anyway. So it's not a great record that Everton do have against Bournemouth. But unfortunately, my other options are Anderson or Rodon. Again, but probably going to go for something a little bit different there. Yeah, I've seen he's gone for the Bruno captain. It has put me off slightly just because of his curse, but that's no effect on Bruno, is it, right? But it is his curse and the impact that could have. Like that is a little bit scary. I think I'm gonna go for it. I think I'm gonna stick with it though. I'm gonna stick with it. I think I'm gonna stick with it. We'll have a go on the coin in a little bit as well. We'll have a go on the coin in a little bit. What do you think with Sells as a goalkeeper? Like if you've got transfers to burn over the next few weeks, definitely could be wise, moving some goalkeepers around because like I said, you get that top up in game week 16 anyway. But this week up against Wolves, I think that's a pretty good fixture. I'd be happy to play Sells this week, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Semenyo to Bruno F. I don't mind that move. Feels very luxury, but we are in a position where we can make some luxury moves, of course. So, yeah, again, I don't really mind it too much. If you're enjoying today's stream, by the way, guys, make sure you are hitting that like button. Make sure you're hitting subscribe as well. Obviously, the more likes we get on the stream, the more it does push it out to more people. And that is exactly what we want today as well. When are you planning to wildcard? I've already wildcarded, mate. I wildcarded back in 6. Yeah, 6, I think it was. Would you start Tiago or Moreno? Oh, I like Moreno, I really do like him. I've got him in my Champions League team. Yeah, it was good. Any team news? No, we'll try and keep you abreast of any early team news we do get on today's stream. Can you do a coin flip for me? Start Chow or Ruben Diaz? No problem. Chow is going to be heads. Tails is going to be Ruben Diaz, all right? Tails. I meant to catch that. I didn't catch it. It landed on tails, by the way. So yeah, there you go. What time is the deadline today? It is at 8 o'clock. No, 6 o'clock. Sorry, 6 o'clock UK time. So 6 o'clock UTC. So whatever that is for you guys around the world. Are you afraid of Enzo? His minutes versus Leeds. I'm thinking about taking him out from -4. I think I was prior to probably Caicedo getting suspended. I do probably think that means that then Santos and Enzo probably sit in the pivot, and then you probably have like João Pedro in the 10, and then either Delap or Gui up front, and then you probably sub in Palmer at half time, like either on the right or he goes down the middle for João Pedro, or João Pedro goes up front and Palmer goes into the 10. So I think Enzo is probably quite safe with his minutes this week, thanks to Caicedo's suspension, weirdly enough. Yeah, that's kind of what I think at the moment. But hey-ho, we'll wait and see. -4 to sell Senesi or play Anderson. I probably would just play Anderson. I don't think there's anybody this week that is going to justify that -4 hit, in my opinion. Enzo or Anderson? Longer term, I probably would like Anderson. Yeah. But I think if Enzo is going to play against Leeds, you would definitely want him to be there, right? What's a good defender to use for a wild card this week? Chow, Virgil van Dijk, Timber. These are probably some of your best picks on a wild card, right? Which 3 players would you rather have this week? O'Reilly, Minter, Richards, or Richard, Semenyo, and Anderson first sub? I'm guessing when people put Anderson, by the way, there's obviously 2. So let me know which one you're going for. Is it Anderson from Fulham or is it Anderson from Forest? Because that obviously skews the difference up a little bit, doesn't it? I took out Van der Ven for Timber and Saar to Rice for free this week. Nice. I rate those moves. What should I do? I'm 0.1 off Senesi to Chow. Have you got any other free transfers? If not, I think Van Heck at 4.4 could also be a pretty decent option. And he is a player that I have thought about maybe bringing in. Palace look like they could rotate in this fixture, and Richards might be one of the players that does actually make way this week. So I might be tempted to just make a late move away from Richards and go to Van Heck this week. It is something that is running through my mind. I had 2 free transfers heading into this week anyway, so I've got a little bit of kind of movability, flexibility, if you like, to of course make those moves as well. So yeah, that is something that has run through my mind. Please do not spam in the chat or you will be ejected. No messing. You've had your warning. You've kept on spamming. See you later, pal. There we go. See ya. Yeah, don't spam, guys. Like, it's there's no need. There's genuinely no need. Like, I'll try and get around to as many questions as I can. You don't have to spam. There you go. Bruno G or Anderson from Nottingham Forest. I prefer Anderson from Nottingham Forest. I think he's got so many kind of avenues to points. DEFCON on corners. And interestingly, since Sean Dyche's appointment, the XG for set play for Nottingham Forest has increased massively. So I would be expecting them to be a lot more proficient with their set plays and probably get a few more set play goals as well. Is Semenyo to Gakpo food for thought for next week, or Senesi to O'Reilly better? I probably would prefer the Gakpo move. If like Semenyo blanks again, then yeah, probably would go for it. Banhammer, yeah, the Banhammer came down. Mate, genuine question: long poo or relaxing week? We've had this one before. And I think I've said I enjoy a long poo. So there you go. I have Pope, Senesi, Saliba, and Cunha with only 1 free transfer. Any suggestions on what I should do? I have 2.5 million in the bank. Well, you know, Senesi's 100% out. Pope also 100% out. So as long as you've got maybe like Dubravka as a little bit of cover for the goalkeeper, that's fine. I probably wouldn't waste a transfer on that one. Senesi, you could probably go to Chow and that would be fine and risk Saliba. Guessing you've got some other bench defenders as well. Like I said, guys, we'll do another round of team reviews at 1:30. So 1:30 is going to be the first round of team reviews, and then it will be every half an hour after that. So make sure you all follow me over on Twitter. Get yourself over on there. Give me a cheeky little follow. We're closing in on 5K followers over on there as well. So yeah, keep the followers coming in on there. A long poo can be horrendous. Not if you've got some good reels. You're cooking. Is Gahey a great captain for this week? No, there's plenty of great options this week. Obviously, Haaland, as usual. Bruno Fernandes, Saka, and Buemo. There's plenty of really, really good options you want to go for. Mateta captaincy, I wouldn't go for. I've seen some predicted lineups. He's not even in the squad. Some as well are predicting an early substitution for him, and I think that could very easily be the case as well. Krupi, according to FPL Maker, is going to start, so that is why I've got him as first sub currently. However, we might have a little bit of a reshuffle with the bench order anyway, so we'll see where we're at. Do you think Salah gets benched again? No, I reckon Salah probably plays this midweek, right? If you want to send your teams for review, it is literally a post on X, and it will literally say, leave your teams right here. And that's all you got to do. You just got to leave your team right underneath it. There you go. Can I give you a free hit team? It would probably have Mbuemo, Bruno, Cunha as a midfield free, Saka, Rice, and maybe a punt on like Moreno, potentially. Like those would be like the midfielders I would be looking at. Defenders, probably would maybe look at like a Forest defender for this week, or maybe the goalkeeper as well. I think maybe Gakpo enters the conversation as well. Maybe an Alexander Isak punt as well. Haaland. These are the sort of players I probably would be considering for this game week if I was on a free hit. So yeah. With Saw injured, I cannot see it happening that Mateta also gets benched, maybe an early sub. It'll probably be more likely to be an early sub than anything else, but they've got a lot of games coming up with Crystal Palace. And yeah, their players' numbers are starting to drop with just purely the amount of games they've got. So they are feeling the fatigue right now. Let's go with that Bruno captaincy. I mean, I hope it works. I really hope to God it works. If it doesn't work, then yeah, it could be disastrous. But we're in a pretty decent position, and it could be the difference between us getting 100k and not getting 100k this week. So yeah, let's just go for it, man. Let's just see where we're at. Team reviews are every 30 minutes. So we started the stream at 1, so the first one will be at 1:30. That makes sense? Cool. Good stuff. Obviously, if you are new to the channel as well, make sure you are hitting that like button. Make sure you're subscribing as well. We're on that road to 22,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and it is only possible with your amazing support. Enzo, I think with just the doubt around his minutes, probably not worth captaincy. Palmer, I don't think starts. I think it's probably more a bench appearance, maybe like a 45 off the bench potentially. If he does start, probably comes off pre-60. Bowen to Pedro or Walter Walter could become an issue in the next few weeks. Like the Newcastle fixtures are good. However, Visser hasn't been called up for the African Cup of Nations. And he's also back sort of playing 11 v 11 training games and stuff like that. So I do think we will start to see Visser over the next few weeks eat into Walter minutes. So yeah, the forwards right now, especially if Thiago's not available, could just be terrible. Genuinely, we might all just be rocking one forwards at the moment, like one player forwards and stuff like that. Salah captaincy could be interesting too. Probably not for me. I just think with him he's not the best Liverpool player right now. I think that is Gakpo. So yeah. People asking me why the free hit was the exact same as everybody else. Well, if you watch the stream, like I was going for about 4 or 5 different drafts. I was literally just flicking through different teams and different variations. We ended up going for the kind of variation that FPL, Let's Talk FPL had. Like at the end of the day, I said this on Twitter, you're going to probably have a lot of this where people are going to end up the same teams because I was going so focused on 4 fixtures. My player pool has gone from that to that. So like my other options were like Bruno and Dango ahead of Gakpo and Sharda. Like it was just stuff like that, like 1 or 2 different changes I would have ended up making. There was like a toy with a 5 back and stuff like that. So again, though, like the team did exceptionally well. So it's kind of one of those where I didn't copy and I just put together the team that had some of the best players for obviously predicted outcomes in a team, and it did well. That's all I think most people blindly probably did anyway, without obviously looking at it. And if you look across the board at most free hit teams for that week, it was very similar. There weren't too many differences between people's free hit teams, so I wouldn't deep it too much. So yeah. How'd my free hit team do? Yeah, I can bring it up. It did very well. Let's just put it that way. So we got 73 points in the end. This was the team that we went for. Obviously, Salah was in the starting lineup. Mukalele came in and changed that. But yeah, this is how the team did. Obviously, pretty well. Literally, our only blanks were Rodgers, Sharda, and obviously Mukalele and Haaland. But we were thankful for the Haaland blank, just given how many people went for him in terms of triple captaincy for that week. So yeah, I feel pretty confident. I feel pretty good about how the free hit went. If your free hit didn't go well, then I wouldn't deep it too much. It's just one of those, isn't it? We're playing in single game weeks where there is hella variance every single week. So yeah, I wouldn't deep it too much if your free hit didn't go too well. Can you give my mum a shout out? She died. We always watched. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm so sorry about that. Apologies for your loss. Yeah. There we go. That's all sorted. FPL Harry from Timu. Nice. Cheers, mate. Replacements for Reece James, probably going to be Timber, Virgil, Chow. They're probably going to be your picks for this week. I didn't go free hit, but I had Cherky. Yeah, I know he was another popular one that people were looking at for that week as well. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure you are hitting that like button. It does push the stream out to more people. So, yeah, get yourself liking the stream, get enjoying, get involved. I would start Thiago this week. Yeah, I'd go with Thiago this week. That would be the way that I would go for it. Would you transfer out Saw and Senesi for Bruno captain and a 3.8 million defender for a -4? I mean, Saw is going to be out for a while, and if you're going to captain Bruno, then it could probably be worth it. So yeah, let's say yes. Captain Semenyo, probably not for me. What do you think about Enzo captaincy? I think with some doubts around his minutes, probably wouldn't go for that one either. Yeah. Would you sell and die this week or hold? I'd keep and die. Look, he's on penalties, can hit defensive contributions. He's Everton's best player and talisman. And this is the thing, right? Taking out 90-minute players ahead of this very busy festive period, probably not the wisest move. Like if I was to name Everton's starting 11 and die, Tarkowski and Keane and Pickford, probably some of the first names that you're going to see on that team sheet. This period is where I wouldn't be looking to make kind of, those luxury moves and taking out those guaranteed 90-minute men for people that are a little bit flaky. So anybody that's thinking about taking Semenyo out this week, I've thought about it, taking him out for Gakpo, which would be, a pretty ballsy move, probably wouldn't be the right play in case Gakpo gets benched, an early substitution. Meanwhile, Semenyo could very easily play a full 90, get a gammy penalty against Everton. Who knows? Yeah. Walter or Mateta. I mean, Mateta's got the better fixture this week, right? But obviously, Walter could be a decent option. Spurs are terrible. They are genuinely terrible, aren't they? Yeah, like benching a penalty taker never feels great for me. It's always one of those where full fact you're gonna get a gammy penalty at some point in the game, and yeah, it's gonna go for it. Bro, I'm going to give you one warning. If you spam again, you're going on mute. He stopped. He stopped. Our perm's back in. Yeah, we've got a perm. Hang on. I can't remember which way it's there. There we go. Perm mullet. Perm, like the mullet's coming. We're growing the mullet. So yeah, that's what we're going for. Who would you rather start out of O'Reilly, Minter, or Mateta? Again, goes back to the penalty taker conversation there. Probably would want to start Mateta, then Minter, then O'Reilly probably last. Best captains for me this week is probably between Haaland and Bruno Fernandes. It literally is, isn't it? It's probably going to be between those two. So yeah. I got João Pedro and Evan Nielsen. Should I transfer anyone out and who for? I mean, the forward market this week is very dire, isn't it? It is really, really dire. I mean, Thiago, but we don't know if he's fit and available. I'm guessing he is, but we still haven't had anything confirmed on that one. And obviously, he's got Arsenal this week, which isn't a great fixture anyway, to, of course, be looking to bring him in. Game week 16 is where I would rather have him, to be honest. So, yeah. Why am I pretending to captain Bruno Fernandes? I don't think I'm pretending to captain Bruno, bro. I think Bruno is going to be pretty much locked as my captain. Is Sharda a good pick? Probably not. Bruno maxes out at 4 points. Let's wait and see. Yeah, I played Chalobah. I think he's a pretty decent option. Is Saka cap a good choice, or is minutes a worry? Minutes are always a worry for any player during this this festive period of midweek games. Obviously, 3 games within the space of 7 days for a lot of sides. It is very, very concerning. You obviously look at sides that have Champions League as well, and Arsenal are one of those sides. Yeah, he could be maybe a player that does get an early substitution. Interestingly as well, Brentford, they're a weird side, aren't they? They're never going to be a pushover. However, they've only had 1 away win so far this season, so maybe it could be a good week to go for Saka. Who are the teams to target against during AFCON or teams missing players? I think Sunderland have like 7 off to AFCON. So yeah, that's probably where I'd go. Bro, who should I play? Chalobah over Keane. Bournemouth is a hard opponent. Yeah, I'd 100% play Chalobah over Keane if I had the option. Oh, 100%. You've got Cash and King. I don't mind Cash. I think King could maybe see some minutes. I guess you could maybe make a bit of a luxury move, maybe like a Danny Welbeck. Against Villa could also be not a bad option this week. Thiago, bringing him in 1 week early as well, could also be a pretty steady move. Like I don't hate that either. Yeah, I don't hate that either. If you're enjoying the stream, guys, make sure to keep giving it a like. Let's see if we can get up to 50 likes nice and early doors. Is Igor Thiago worth starting? Yes. Brentford have won, interestingly, the second most penalties since their promotion in the 21-22 season. They know how to keep consistently winning penalties. No Saliba, potentially no no Gabriel, potentially no Saliba. Like, they could be up there for the taking. They could be up there for the taking. Yes, it is time for team reviews, the first round of team reviews as well. So let's head over to Twitter. Like I said, make sure you are coming over to this post right here. It says live now, leave team reviews below. Make sure you follow me over on Twitter so everything pulls through. And yeah, let's take a look. See what we got. See what the first one is. Thoughts on this team, plus do I start Chow over Ruben Diaz? Oh, that's a toughie. I really like the team, and I'd be tempted to probably maybe leave it as is. Yeah. Chow first sub if you need him. Yeah, I don't mind that. I probably would stick as is. I'd probably stick as is. Is this good for this game week? Any chances any changes for next game week? Yeah, the team looks completely fine for this game week. No real qualms with that one. Probably the moves would be maybe looking to move Mateta on after this week. Like, they've got Fulham at the weekend. Then they're heading some really difficult fixtures, but that could, of course, come in game week 16 anyway. So, yeah, Van der Ven, I'm not a big fan of either. Just very much. Yeah. Oh, well. Brea, Semenyo. Oh. I mean, you can get away with it. You've got like a play in 11. Just probably move Anderson up as first sub, and I reckon you'll be good. Hi, Tom. Any thoughts? 1.3 million in the bank. I'm open to a -4. I was thinking stack to Anderson and Senesi to Chow for a -4. Any other recommendations? Those are cracking recommendations, by the way. I would probably just stick with those recommendations you've got for yourself there. Anderson, I like. Chow, obviously, I like. I brought him in this week. So, yeah, go for those. Go for those moves. Already brought in Anderson for Ndai and thinking of taking a -4, taking out Enzo for Gakpo. Foden or Rice, which of those would you pick if you made the move? I would prefer... I like Gakpo. I really do like Gakpo. I think he's Liverpool's best attacker. They've also, on the 11-5 model, got some of the best numbers over the next few weeks as well. So I do think they'll be a pretty decent option. I do like Rice as well, but he is a player that you're going to have to play every single week. And I think at some points when Gabriel and Saliba are back, you might, of course, want to root into another Arsenal defender anyway. So I would probably be looking at maybe Gakpo or Rice as my picks. What transfer plans would you give? I have 2 free transfers, and also when should I bench boost? Oh dear. I would be tempted to maybe move like Paqueta on to like an Anderson. But I don't think there's necessarily any moves you really need to make here, right? I would probably roll again, get to game week 15, have a little bit of a mini rejig for game week 15, like a kind of sort yourself out wildcardy sort of thing. So you get the max AFCON transfers. That would probably be what I would be doing right now. Good luck this week from Australia. Armband on Bruno, Sarr to Anderson, and Senesi to Chow next week. Any other than Anderson would be a good fit for my team. Anyone 7.8 or under. I do like the Anderson pick, and I really can't see past it. So, yeah, I really like the moves you've suggested. They are moves I've considered myself if I was to own Sarr this week as well. Selling Sarr for Szoboszlai next week on the free hit. Fair enough. Remember, though, Szoboszlai is on 4 yellow cards. 1 more, and he will be suspended. Do I bench Calafiori? Does he start? I think he probably starts, but like your defense is very good to maybe get away with it. You've got some Arsenal coverage anyway, so keep him on the bench, I guess. Yeah, keep him on the bench. I did Gordon and Paqueta to Bruno and Anderson for a -4 last night before Anderson's price change. Just escaped being priced out, and now I'm pretty happy with my team. Mateta to Thiago on the cards for game week 15. I think that'll be a very, very popular move that most people go for. And yeah, I like the move you suggested, Abby. Great stuff. Play Thiago or Xhaka. I'd probably go Thiago. Hey Tom, congrats on the TikTok. Slow start to the season for me, but up to 1 million now. Very nice. One free transfer, 2.5 million in the bank. Just bought in Foden for Saar last week and it paid off massively. Great stuff. Cunha's back in the fold. So I think you could probably get away with maybe making no transfer. Maybe you get yourself a Senesi replacement for this week. Maybe you do move him on to Chow, and then of course you can just have a bit of cover if Saliba doesn't play. Start Mukalele, Thiago, or Krupi. I would start Thiago. First sub, probably would go Krupi. Thoughts on this team? Decent team for this week. I like it. 4 free transfers. Who to buy? I mean, Bruno definitely would be one of the players that I would have in conversation. Probably Thiago as well. I think the back line doesn't look too bad. Maybe like a Chow. Maybe you could drop that down to another cheaper midfielder, get yourself some more premiums in there. Elliot Anderson as well for Reinders would be a great fit for me, with plenty of transfers there. Got 1.1 free transfer with 1.8 million in the bank. Nice. Again, is there necessarily anything that I think really needs doing here? Probably not. If Saliba plays. If not, James or Thiago or King come in for him, so I don't mind that. And the final one from Hayden, and then we'll do another round at 2 o'clock. This is his team he sent in this week. He's got 3 free transfers. Definitely would be looking to move Senesi on. I mean, you could maybe move Dango on for 1 week. Like, you've got to start using these transfers to fully get the use of it. So probably, actually, my moves will probably be Van der Ven and Senesi probably would come out this week. And I would look at some other strong defenses for the next 2 weeks and kind of just like I said, give yourself a little bit of a springboard so you're not burning all the transfers heading into AFCON. So yeah, there's the teams. There are the teams. Thank you for everybody that sent them in. Do appreciate it. Of course, like I said, if you want your team reviewing by me in the next round, make sure you are you're getting them in, and we'll do some more of those at 2 o'clock. All right. I've seen a few people complaining that the team didn't appear in the chat. Unfortunately, that is just the way it goes. Like, just make sure you follow me and all that good stuff. And if it doesn't appear, it doesn't appear. There's not much I can really do with X. Just make sure you're following me. Make sure you just, being active. Like, if you've just started a Twitter account, I don't think it will appear. But yeah, those are the tips. And unfortunately, that's just the way it is. If you want to get your team actually reviewed by me, like guaranteed, then head over to my Discord, link in the description for that one. Make sure you join in. Me and Golden Goal, who is also live right now, run a Discord together server. We obviously have an exclusive podcast in there as well. So yeah, come check it out. Shall I do Saliba to Timber and keep James on the bench for this week? Or is that a sideways move? This is the thing. I think people can make more luxury moves this week and more kind of, sideways moves. So yeah, this bro is chatting, just absolutely chatting. So yeah, he's getting banned. There we go. I've just seen, like, when I was doing team reviews, I saw that like people were saying he's been chatting shit. So yeah, he's gone. He's gone for 24 hours. Cunha worth the shout? Probably not for me. I don't think it. Odds on Eze being rested? Could happen. FPL Meerkat is the man for predicted lineups. If he's in there, then I'd probably feel pretty good about it. Is it good to start Ekitike? I doubt he plays. I think they probably go Isak up top again. I do reckon they probably go Isak up top. If you're enjoying today's stream, guys, by the way, make sure you are hitting that like button. We are closing in on 50 likes. And yeah, we'll see where we're at. Salah or Haaland captain? Haaland all the way for that one. Looking at the poll, what have people got? It's close, between Bruno and Haaland already. Jeez. That is close. Will João Pedro start? I think he will. Obviously, we're going to have a look at Charlie's post in a little bit because I imagine that is going to be imperative this week. But as I've always said to you guys, when we start getting these midweek Premier League rounds, expect rotation. And we might not even get the rotation this round. It could also impact game week 15 at the weekend as well. So there could be some hella rotation coming up over the next few days. So do expect it. Make sure you've got some decent bench players that see decent minutes. Don't be making, obviously, moves for minutes risk players. And just have the guys in there that are probably going to play very good 90 minutes across the board. And you should be able to kind of weather the storm over the next few weeks as well. Saka or Haaland captain? I probably would put Haaland above Saka this week in terms of my estimations for captain. I think there's probably two choices for me. Probably is Haaland or it probably is Bruno Fernandes. That's where my mind would go. Will Sanchez start? Yeah, he should start. So we expecting B teams? I wouldn't say we're expecting B teams. Like, there just might be some rotation. Like, the Premier League, you can never really rotate. There isn't like a gimme game. Probably like your Wolves and that are more gimme games and stuff. But as City found out at the weekend, like, they got ran hard by Leeds. So, you know, there's no kind of gimme games in the Premier League. There just aren't. Bruno and Mbeumo, Haaland or Gakpo captain. I think I probably would go for Bruno and probably Haaland would be my two. I'm obviously currently leaning more towards Bruno Fernandes. I understand the appeal of going for Fulham as well. Interestingly, Fulham are the second best defence for goals conceded from open play. Only bettered by Arsenal. Like, they're not bad from open play. They don't give a lot of opportunities up. So, one to potentially consider. I don't think I would be looking to jump into any more. For me personally, I wouldn't be looking to jump into any more Palace players. Like, their fixture run is really starting to take a toll on them as well. I don't care what people are saying. I'm captaining Bruno Fernandes. Look, he's a great captain for this week. West Ham are 19th for expected goals conceded. Obviously, as well, they're 19th for goals conceded, 19th for big chances given up in the league as well. Like, there's so much going against West Ham this week that all the stars are aligning for a decent Bruno return. So, yeah, I think this is probably maybe one of the weeks where you can go against Haaland. Watch him absolutely go and destroy it, though. Verbergen, best Pope replacement, spending 1.5 for Rare to maybe get 3 points doesn't seem right. Depends if you've already got any coverage into that Arsenal defense. If you've not got any coverage, could be a nice way to give yourself a player that will have like 90 minutes across the board into that Arsenal defense. Otherwise, yeah, I probably would be maybe looking at some cheaper options. I don't know who you'd realistically go for, to be honest. Maybe Verbergen. Brighton recently in the fixtures aren't too bad. So, yeah, probably not a bad shout. Arsenal Timber captain for me. Fair enough. You think Barnes is a good pick? No. I think any sort of rotation player like that, not going to be good picks this week. By the way, I took inspiration from your free hit team and got under 350k rank. Thanks a lot. Love that. Love that. Great stuff. Saar and Gabriel to O'Reilly and Gakpo for a -4. Two very rotation risk heavy players, so probably not. Would you recommend taking a -4 point hit to transfer out Van de Ven or Caicedo? I mean, Van de Ven's at least playing, so Caicedo probably would be the one, realistically, that you'd want the minus would be more valuable for. I can't get my mind off Saar to Morgan Gibbs-White. Isn't Morgan Gibbs-White out? I think I saw that. Thank you very much for the super chat. But someone correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. I think I saw earlier that Morgan Gibbs-White is out for this week, right? Best Saar replacement, 7.6 million in the bank. I really like Anderson. Gakpo at that price point could also be pretty decent. Steady option. Minter as well, pretty great option. Abby says, I'm so tempted to captain Bruno, but Haaland does scare me. His EO is frightening. It is frightening, isn't it? Morgan Gibbs-White is who MGW is. Have I decided 100%? I would probably say I'm like 95%. There's the holy coin. There's the holy coin that but will make things yeah. I think they said Morgan Gibbs-White was fine. Fair. Fair enough. I can't remember. I genuinely was trying to think of it. But if I was to select any Forest midfielder, I don't see what benefit you would get for spending extra money on Morgan Gibbs-White over just going for Anderson. I really don't. Is Anderson a good captain? Probably not. There's better options this week. Plenty of better options. Am I rolling? No, I've made one move already this week. I took Senesi out and brought in Chow. That was my one transfer. I've got another one left. So, yeah, we'll see it. I need the coin. Start Alderente or take a hit. Tails, you keep him. Heads, you don't. You ready? Heads, you don't. You're taking that hit. Triple captain is active on Haaland. Fair enough. Fair enough. Look, Haaland is a good... Like, I'm not saying Haaland is a terrible captaincy option. He's still an absolutely fantastic captain for this week. He really is. But I fancy Bruno. I do fancy Bruno, so we're going to go with it. Hi, Tom. 2 free transfers, Senesi and Ndai to Timber and Anderson or O'Reilly and Chow and Minter. Yeah, don't mind those moves. Taking out Ndai, though... Yeah, a guy that's going to see very good minutes and on penalties over the next few weeks. I don't think I would maybe do that. You can get rid of him in 16 when he heads off to AFCON. Should I captain Haaland or Saka? I probably would lean more towards Haaland than Saka this week. Mateta, probably not a captain. I've seen some predicted lineups where he's not even in them. I imagine there might be an early substitution for him as well. Start Welbeck or Kudus? Probably would go Welbeck. Apparently the app is having some issues, so make sure you're getting your teams locked and loaded for this week. So if you are thinking about some transfers, maybe worth making them a little bit earlier if the app is having some problems. I haven't tested that out for myself, but I'll give it a go now. Let's see what my phone's saying. King to Anderson for a -4. Probably not going to be worth it. App looks fine for me. Like, I can get on the app, no issues. But if people are reporting issues, then obviously make sure you are getting those teams locked and loaded. Look, I think realistically, Haaland is still a great captaincy pick for this week. I've never said he's not a great captaincy pick. I just think there are a lot of factors going against Erling Haaland this week. You factor in that Fulham are the second best side in the league for open play XGI conceded. So that's fairly decent. Obviously, there's other interesting assets as well that are tickling the pickle a little bit. West Ham for United, Brentford for Arsenal as well. These poor sides with, terrible XG conceded, especially in the case of West Ham. Brentford, a little bit more of a better defense, 7th for XG conceded. Then you factor in, it's a midweek round, plenty of games coming up for City, whereas United only have the Premier League to focus on. So Bruno probably is going to play a full 90. Saka, again, I'm unsure of. Haaland, again, I'm unsure of. Like, he might score one and City might be like 3-0 up at half-time and they go, we've got lots of games coming up. Let's get him off. It could be one of those. We are all having bad weeks. Just see how Salah is doing. I mean, it's going to be a weird week. I think it's going to be a weird week. So I won't read into it too much. I know, and my pick. I would probably go Chow ahead of O'Reilly. Some people saying the app works fine. So yeah, someone must just been chatting shite. Looks like Pope's going to be out for a few weeks, and obviously we've got to use up our transfers before FPL Game Week 16. So if you've got some additional moves left over, I would get rid. Probably not for a hit. The Brav could probably cover the next 2 weeks. Senesi and Richards to Chow and Van Heck. There are 2 moves that I've exactly thought about myself. I've already made the Chow move. I'm very, very tempted to make that other moves as well with Richards. Some predicted lineups not having him, so yeah. If I could pick one player out of Foden, Mateta, Semenyo up until Xmas, I think Semenyo is probably the only one in there that I'd say that I couldn't see being benched, so I'd probably pick him just for minutes. It's a difficult one with a player that has very good minutes. And is Timber like absolutely essential this week to bring in? Like they've got potentially no Saliba, no Gabriel. Brentford are scoring quite a lot of goals this season. So yeah. Gakpo was one of the players that was on the TikTok as well. If you haven't already, make sure you all follow me over on TikTok. We've had a mad week over on there. We've got like 8K followers in the past 24 hours. It's been a bit insane. We're up to 28K on that now. So yeah, come help me hit 30K over on TikTok. Hey, Tom. Pick 3 to play Munoz, Richards, Chalobah, and Chow. I think with some of the rumours around Richards, I would probably go Munoz, Chalobah, and Chow. Will you do Mateta for Waldemar for a -4? No. Rodon to Chow for a -4? No. Saka or Bruno, double up United, and Anderson / Minter and Sarr and Caicedo for a -4? Yes. I had to think about that one. Hi, Tom. I have these transfers in mind. Mateta. I mean, Bruno could be a good option, especially if you're going to captain him this week. That would be the only thing that would be running through my mind is if I am going to captain Bruno Fernandes, then I would want to make the move this week. If you're not, then maybe it can just wait one more week. Timber or Chow longer term? I think longer term, like Timber is going to be the pick, right? Because that Arsenal defense are going to keep consistently keeping clean sheets. But for the price point that Chow is and what he offers with defensive contributions, set piece threat as well. Now, from corners and free kicks, I've watched a lot of Newcastle's set plays over the past 24 hours. Corners and free kicks, trying to predict who's going to get the header on it is a little bit difficult. However, long throws, he is usually the guy at the front post who's winning the flick on. So that's something that looks good for me. I spoke about Mateta captain and how I don't think he's a decent captaincy pick for this week. Probably not for me. Start 1, King, and Thiago Reese. I would probably play Thiago just for penalties. Like Brentford have a real knack of winning penalties, by the way. They have won the second most penalties in the Premier League since their promotion, only beaten by Manchester City. I've benched Thiago for Anderson. What do you think? I never like leaving penalty takers on the bench, but Arsenal are a very good defence. I can probably see maybe only Brentford scoring 1 in that game if they are going to score. So I don't hate that. Yeah, I don't hate that. Do. Chalobah for me as well. That is also a great point, isn't it? Fulham are so good defensively, yet nobody's playing Anderson. Maybe it's just because we've been swayed by the red. We've been swayed by the red, haven't we? We're like, oh, that's a red fixture. I might bump him up to first sub, just to see what happens, really. Yeah, I think I'll bump him up to first sub. Let's bump him up to first sub. Let's bump him up there. I don't mind that. So if Richards doesn't play, we get Anderson off the bench. Not terrible. Not terrible. I hope Semenyo will score. I hope he will. FPL Morg's in the chat. He says, good afternoon, bro. Hope you're doing decent, my friend. Hope you're having a good afternoon. Raya Van Dijk. Someone's just put, all right. Might it be too late for Thiago? Otara going off to AFCON probably means less penalties. He has been notorious at winning them. However, they've got Wolves and Leeds in their next 2 games. Like, they're great fixtures to be targeting. So, you know, even without penalties, though, his non-penalty XGI is still pretty tasty. So, not the end of the world if he, stops scoring the penalties or stops getting given penalties. Yeah, like I said, not the end of the world if that were to happen. Do keep your questions coming in. Any that you do have ahead of the deadline. If you're enjoying today's stream as well, make sure you're hitting that like button as always. Make sure you're subscribing if you're new as well. Does Thiago have a knock? No, there hasn't been any kind of widespread report of it. He just went off towards the end of the game, but apparently it was like a tactical knock. So like going down and wasting a little bit of time. Best striker under 6 million. Is there anybody under 6 million that is playing regular minutes? You're probably looking at like a Burnley forward, right? I mean, Nemec has got penalties for Leeds, so maybe it's somebody like him, but yeah, I can't think of any decent forwards under that price point, really. Do you think Burns and Richards start? I got Burn, Richards, Virgil as my defense this game week, and my cover is Rodon. A little bit of a dicey backline, but I think Burn probably plays. Richards is the one that there are some doubts around. And Buemo cap, if no Bruno, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. The recent performances have been a little bit disappointing from O'Brien, though, haven't they, in recent weeks? 2 back-to-back 1-pointers. Not bad XGI, though. Like, better XGI in both of his games from when he scored that 7-pointer there. So, you know, it's been all right, but not amazing. Few yellow cards in there as well. Am I still thinking triple captain for game week 15? Yes. Yeah, game week 15 is probably where I'm going to be at for my triple captain. I need to choose between keeping Cherky or Thiago. Who would you do? Thiago 100%. By Chow or O'Reilly? By Chow for me. Are you going to commit to Bruno captain? I'm fairly committed. Like I said, I'm at like 95%. We'll do a coin flip for it for Haaland, but I'm pretty set on it as a decision, I think. Transfer plans are Saar for Anderson and Senesi for Timber and Van de Ven for Chalobah. Nice moves. I'm captaining Savoni for a big differential after dropping to 3K. I mean, fair play for getting in the position you are. However, I would just say, like, he's already going to be a mega differential. If he goes off, he's going to absolutely pop off. So I wouldn't deep it too much. So who should I start? Nico, Riley, Dewsbury Hall, Enzo. Oh, that's a toughie. That is a toughie. I think I probably would go Nico O'Reilly. Yeah. Team review will be in 4 minutes' time. If you want to get your team review sent in, do it over there. Fulham, good home form, and City in a poor away recent form. Yeah, interestingly, Fulham, though, have the last time they beat Manchester City was pretty much 20 years ago. Their last home win for Fulham against Manchester City was all the way back in 2005. Their last win against Manchester City was back in 2009 in the Premier League. So it's been a while since they have beaten Manchester City in the Premier League. So, yeah, they're going up against the history. Anderson or KDH, who would you like more? Anderson. Just more routes to points. So, yeah. How do you get your team reviewed? There is a post over on my X that literally says, leave team reviews right here. You put it under there. It'll come through for my notifications. Make sure you follow me. And yeah, we'll get those reviewed. Yeah, it's a mad stat, that Fulham one, isn't it? Last win at home against Manchester City, 2005. So, yeah. I think a lot of people are probably going to be moving away from the 2 forwards. I really, really do think people are going to be moving away from not even the 2 forwards, the 3 forwards, sorry, going forward. Vissa being back, not going off to AFCON, probably dints Walter-Marder's minutes. Mateta and the amount of fixtures that Palace have just got coming up probably dints him, and Nketiah being back as well. So, yeah. I wasn't even born when they last beat City at home. Jesus. Mad that. I was 5. So there you go. I was 5 the last time Fulham beat Manchester City at home. Here's an even better stat for you. I think it was 1970 something. Hang on. This is my favorite stat from the research for this week. You ready for this one? This is a good one. You'll like this. If I can get off it. Newcastle versus Spurs. There have only ever been 3 0-0 meetings between their first meeting in 1905. And interestingly, the last 0-0 between these two sides was all the way back in 1971. 1971, right? That is ridiculous. My dad wasn't even born in 1971, the last time there was a 0-0 between Newcastle and Spurs. That is a crazy stat heading into this week. Probably my favourite one for this week. So yeah, there you go. Man City was also not born then. Yeah, Man City weren't even created till 2008. Most of their fans weren't fans, to be fair. Start Nketiah, Welbeck, or Ndai. I probably would go Welbeck. Mukulele or Krupi. I'd actually take a gamble on Krupi. Stack or Thiago. I'd go Thiago this week. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Anything that you do have, we'll be doing team ratings in 1 minute's time. So, yeah, we'll get around to those very, very shortly. Obviously, if you're enjoying the stream as well, see if we can get up to 100 likes today. That would be appreciated as we're closing in on 21.6k subscribers. Just ridiculous. We're trying to hit 22 by the end of the year. So if you do enjoy the content, like I said, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button as well. Good replacement for Saw. I think you've got Gakpo, you've got Foden as your more premium options. You've obviously then, if you come down a little bit, you have Minter, you've also got Declan Rice, and you've got Anderson. They're probably my top options for me, realistically. What team do I support? I support Mansfield Town, who play in League One. So I never have to worry about kind of, bias or anything like that. Doesn't bother me. We're all good in that fact. Reindeer replacement. Nice. Very festive. I'm guessing you mean Reinders. It probably would be, again, that same list I've just gone through there. So probably Minter, Rice, Anderson would probably be my top replacements. Sort of Bruno Guimaraes. I don't mind Bruno Guimaraes. I've said this, though, in a few videos this week. If you're going to pick a pick like Bruno Guimaraes or Anderson, be prepared, number one, to bench some of their big point hauls. And number two, probably play them at just every single week because you don't know when their attacking returns or big level kind of, scores are going to come. So, yeah, that is what I would say to people is just be a little bit careful on that front. Yeah, I think Saw did drop last night. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he dropped last night. It has gone 2 o'clock. Let's get around to some more team reviews. Obviously, we'll do another batch of these in half an hour. Oh, I think we've had a decent batch sent in again here, guys. Thank you very much. Where were we up to? Hayden was the last one. So FPL Noose Moment, I think that is. Nice looking team. Yeah, steady looking team this week. He's also gone for the Bruno captain, so I can rate that. 2 Brunos in one side as well. I'm thinking about doing a -8, take Sar out for Bruno Fernandes and captain, and Pedro to Gui, or keep my team as the same. Really want Bruno this week. I mean, if you're desperate to get Bruno Fernandes in, then maybe go for it. However, João Pedro could very easily play against Leeds and do exceptionally well. So could, of course, Enzo Fernandez. It might just be worth looking at kind of like a more of a steady Eddie Anderson pick, not taking a -8 and just going for it that way. If you really want him that bad, though, take the minus, but I probably wouldn't. I would probably take Reece James out. Like, he's not going to justify that price point, is he, with all this rotation over the busy festive period? So, yeah, probably Reece James is the one I would probably go for out if I were to replace any of them there. Had Moreno against Chelsea and he got 9 points. Going to stick with him, but he'll probably be transferred out when I get 5 free transfers. Valid. Tosin is the most likely to start, so I'll keep Senesi on the bench and Bruno should be solid captaincy option. Nice. Love that. 2 free transfers and 0 million in the bank. Don't have a defined plan. Ooh. See, I think Dubravka could maybe see you all right for the next 2 until we get to the AFCON transfers where you can be a little bit more luxurious. However, you could get away with just not playing Saw this week, and same with, I feel like the defender probably is more important. So maybe Chow in this week and maybe a new goalkeeper. Maybe like a Matt Sells short-term punt could also be a decent shout. That's probably the way that I would look at it. Or Sanchez from Chelsea could also be a great shout for a Premier League goalkeeper that I think a lot of people are undervaluing this week. Did Pope and Saw to Bruno and Raya for a -4. I probably wouldn't have done the -4, but fair enough. 1 free transfer, 0.9 million in the bank. Looks good. Don't think there's any changes I would probably make to that. Saw to Mount. Oh, God. No, not Mount. Not Mount. That's not the pick. That's not the one. Z-Man. Steady looking team. No qualms with that, mate. Planning to roll for only the second time this season. Should I start Casemiro? I could see Casemiro scoring in that game. I don't see him starting ahead of anybody else in this team, though, so no. Nice team. Like it. Like it a lot. Did Senesi to Timber with 0.7. Again, very good move. I'm guessing you've deleted that post. Yeah, looks like you deleted that post. Here he is. Struggling to decide between Senesi to Timber or Saar to Minter with the 1 free transfer this week. I'll probably bring in both longer term. Plan is free hit 16/17 Fort. I think I probably would be more tempted to do the Minter move. I feel like that one. Would I? Nah, sorry. I'd do the Timber move. I'd do the Timber move. Senesi to Timber, if you can afford it, would be the move I would do for that one. Semenyo to Bruno for captain, Saar to Anderson, Juve to Chow for all for free, I'm guessing. Yep, I would do those moves. Great moves. Cool. Obviously, we'll do another round of team reviews at 2:30. So if you didn't get your team reviewed there, make sure you're getting them in for the next round. Yeah. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Yeah, I've said this about Bruno Fernandes for a long time. And I've said, like, he is probably going to be one of the best scoring midfielders come the end of the season. And people will go, I didn't even own him all year. Because he's just going that under the radar. He's getting absolutely slandered every single week, but he's actually just ticking along very nicely. Is Saliba fit? Apparently not. Apparently it might be like a few days, said Arteta. Very weird press conference, but you never can trust that man. So God knows what's going through his head, to be honest. Just hit 21.6. So thank you very much for everybody helping the channel continue to grow. It's yeah, as we come to the end of 2025, you do start to reflect on the year as a whole, and very grateful, to say the least, for you all. Very, very grateful. So thank you for all your support this year. It's meant the world to me. Yeah, he's not out longer term. It is just a doubt for this week. So yeah, I'm baking. I might have to take this top off. There we go. Whew. I was baking then. And Die to Dewsbury Hall and Krupi to Tiago. Thoughts? Don't mind those moves. Don't mind those moves. If you can afford to stretch up to Elliot Anderson, I would, but I get it. I probably think Hall. I probably say Hall doesn't start. Which teams do I think will be relegated? Wolves are down. They're gone. Burnley are probably the other one that will go. Then it's probably a toss-up between West Ham, Leeds. Yeah, probably your other ones. West Ham and Leeds, right? Probably Leeds. I think maybe West Ham spend big in the summer, get themselves a striker. Probably keep themselves up. Something weird like that. Would you take a -4 to get Mbuemo in for Ndai? No. Do like the Bruno captaincy, but will most likely still go with Haaland. I understand that. Like, if people still go with Haaland, like, I don't hate it. Haaland would genuinely be my other one as well. Is Harry Wilson injured? I saw that he went off injured on FOTMob in the last game. So yeah, probably, but I haven't heard anything from Marco Silva. So yeah. Yeah, the Chelsea top's quite nice. Don't mind that. Don't mind that. It's quite a nice top. I just wear it for the gym and just lazing about the house. So yeah. Hi Tom, what do you think of Gakpo captaincy? I don't mind it. I just think there are probably plenty of better options this week. Saka, Bruno, Haaland, all probably above him, right? And Buemo for captaincy, look, the past 2 games have been poor from him. However, it's against West Ham. They're a poor side. Maybe this could be the game where he absolutely pops off. Really good. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Anything that you want to know ahead of the deadline, do let me know. If you're enjoying the stream as well, make sure you're hitting that like button. Obviously, it's the first mid-week Premier League round of the season, and I'm looking forward to it. It should be good. Should be a class one, to be fair. Best Saw replacements for a -4, and is it worth it? I mean, if you could probably get away with it, I probably wouldn't go for it. But my replacements would probably be Rice, Minter, Anderson would be realistically the three players I would look at. What do I think about Mateta captaincy? I think there's just too much uncertainty around minutes for me to probably go there. Game week predictions, I did those over on my second channel. I don't think there was any big shocks I went for. Pretty just normal scores this week. Haaland had scored a hat-trick against Fulham. Has he? I don't think he has. Pretty sure I've checked the records and Haaland hasn't. I mean, that doesn't matter, like, because the player can score multiple goals and then never score again. One in that game, none in that game, none in that game. Oh, yeah. Back in the, what year is that? 2023. There we go. I thought it was just a brace. It is a hat trick. Long time ago, though. Long time ago. Hey, Jamie. Hope you're doing good, man. I hope you're doing good. I got Haaland, Saka, and Buemo, Mateta, and Gakpo. Whom should I captain? I think you realistically probably go between Haaland and Saka there, right? And I probably would lean towards Haaland on that one. Yeah, just said it. 2023, a hat trick against Fulham. Recent results, though, have been a little bit dry at the well. So, yeah. And Buemo to Fernandes to captain for a -4. No, definitely not for a -4. Not worth it, in my opinion. Fulham's home record is ridiculous, but as I've already pointed out, the last time that Fulham beat Manchester City was back in 2009, and the last time that Fulham managed to win at Craven Cottage versus Manchester City in the Premier League was back in 2005. So yeah, a long time ago. A long, long time ago. Oh, mate. What happened? What happened? I need to sell Caicedo. Should I replace him with Declan Rice or Elliot Anderson? I would probably go with Elliot Anderson. Who would you replace and die with? I have 2.1 million in the bank. Maybe thinking Foden and Buemo. I already have Fernandes. Double United midfielder for this week and next week could be pretty steady. Could be pretty decent. What would make me take a -4? Probably didn't have a starting 11, no bench cover, no decent captaincy options. Those would be probably the things that would make me take a minus this week. Best week to bench boost, any week where you've got a full 15 that you know are probably going to play. There's where I get the bench boost off. I can't believe some people have still got the bench boost. I tried to get that thing out my hair as quick as I could. It still took me weeks to do it, but yeah. Yeah, I've seen he's on the same, so God help us. God help us now. Yeah, the curse is just, it just is unreal, isn't it? It can't keep going on though. It can't keep going on. TC Bruno. I think there's just probably better weeks where TC opens itself up, right? Yeah, probably better weeks where it opens it up. You seem like a top bloke. Just subbed. Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. 1-1 in the game between City is my shout. Yeah, I can see that. I have one free transfer and 0.5 million in the bank. I have Saar, Senesi, Forts. PS, I have Welbeck up front. Depends who your other back, like your back defenders are. For me, I had to make the moves to go for it. So yeah. Potts, I think at 4.4 is your cheapest one I'd go for. FPL Physio says already activated the triple captain on Bruno. Fair play, mate. Look, if it works, fair play. I hope it works this week, my friend. Who should I captain, Bruno or Haaland? I mean, you can kind of see which way I'm swinging, but both are absolutely fantastic captaincy options. Just because I haven't gone with Haaland doesn't mean I don't think he's a bad option for this week. If you have Haaland, Haaland is still a great pick this week. That's what I said last week when I saw him TC. Who to replace Paqueta with? Got 8.1 million. Semenyo, Gakpo, Minter, Anderson, or Bruno G. A lot of great options in there. Yeah, a lot of great options in there. I probably, if I had decent coverage for minutes, I probably would take a gamble on Gakpo. Other than that, Minter, Anderson, Bruno G, all absolutely cracking picks this week. AR Hoop Zone leads to upset Chelsea. I'd be putting Rodon in over Chow this week. Fair enough. If you are interested in any basketball content, make sure you are checking out AR Hoop Zone. Some good stuff over on there. Best week to bench boost. Any week you've got a full 15 that you're confident are going to be playing as well. I have Pope. What goalkeeper should I go for? Raya, Donnarumma, Verbergen, Sals. I mean, if you've got no Arsenal coverage, I probably would move into Raya. Donnarumma is also a pretty steady option, and Verbergen, probably the cheap option you go for. What was your question, mate? If you want to put it in again, I'll try and answer it when it comes back round. But yeah, I'm not trying to ignore anybody's questions here. There are just quite a lot to get through. Which game week is the best? I think 16 is probably the next window to do it, right? I'm top 25k. Should I captain Haaland over Mbeumo? I have a feeling he goes big this week. Go for it then. Gehi or Mukalele? I probably would go Gehi. Doku captain? Not for me. Not for me. Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it, where you look at like previous records and like everything, you're just like, oh, it's not good, and then it is good, and like there's just so much. So I won't read too much into it. Good luck to you as well, my friend Red Bull Vodka. I don't mind a Red Bull vodka. I haven't had one in years though. I like them though. Pretty steady. Now a vodka cranberry though is better. That is elite. Stops a hangover, that, by the way. If anybody likes a drink, it does stop a hangover. Best week to triple captain. I mean, this week, if you're FPL Physio with Bruno, I believe Bruno's got Wolves next week, right? Has he got Wolves next week? Yeah, Wolves next week could also be a pretty steady shout as well. Haaland in 17. I don't know why that disappeared. There we go. Yeah, that could also be a pretty steady week to go for as well. Haaland, Mateta, Welbeck, and Thiago. Who should I sack? Probably Mateta longer term. Would probably start to make way out of my side. Gokeres transfer in? Nope. Wouldn't go for that. Cucurella or Mukalele? Probably go Cucurella. Do you think O'Reilly starts? I don't want to try and second guess Pep Guardiola, so yeah. Brandy with a touch of lime cordial sounds awful, but pure nectar. I'm not going to try it. I'm not going to try that. Who has been your biggest disappointment in FPL? Top content as always. Who has been my biggest? Probably like Watkins this year. Watkins has been terrible at the start of the year, and I had him for weeks. Yeah, he was terrible. Need Matcha Mills on the channel. I don't think she'll come on the channel at any point. She's a little bit camera shy, but maybe one day we'll get her on the channel. But yeah, she's absolutely smashing it, by the way. 46k at the moment. Yeah. Mental ranking from her. What time is the next team review? It will be at 2:30. So yeah, if you want to get your team sent in to me, 2:30 will be the next round of team reviews. So when we'll get them done. Granit Xhaka or Minter? I probably would go Minter. When do you think Mateta drops off? I'm looking to probably get rid of him after this week and uh, move to Thiago if he's fit and available. Don't go for Bruno. Cap Olympian has also gone for Bruno. I have seen, but I'm still here. Haaland, Mateta, Foden, Enzo, Anderson, Doku, Saka. Who to bench for JP? You probably bench like Doku, right? Probably the way I'd go. Verts for me, I was hyping him up more than anyone. Oh, Verts as well. I went for Verts. Jesus. I had so many rubbish picks at the start of this year. What was I doing? Yeah, I got swayed. I got swayed. I got swayed. I won't be doing that again. I definitely will. It happens every year, doesn't it? I wouldn't mind double Brighton attack could be a little bit iffy though. I get it if you've already got him. So yeah, probably maybe like an Elliot Anderson would be the midfielder I would go for then. If you can get to Rice, I'm not sure what sell price you saw will be at, but yeah. My prediction for Arsenal probably Timber, the other two centre backs bar Gabriel and Saliba, and then I don't know who else would I probably go for. I would be tempted. Yeah, I would be tempted to maybe say, oh, could they go Lewis Skelly? Yeah, go on then. We'll go with Lewis Skelly. Let's go Lewis Skelly. Yeah, I'm not buying any new player next season. I'm just going straight in with the players that we know. We're just going just straight in players that we know. Anybody outside of that, I'm not even thinking about. I'm not even going to touch them. That's all we're going to do. We're not going for anybody else other than the players that we know. They're just going to be the ones. Playing Dubravka gets me through the next two games. Yeah, I think it's a fine week. I think it's a fine week to play Dubravka this week. What about next week? Who've they got? Newcastle away could be a bit dodgy, but like if it gets you there, it gets you there, doesn't it? Get them likes up. Yeah, what are we at? What are we at in terms of likes for today's stream? Where were we at, ladies and gentlemen? We are at 79. Let's see if we can push up to 100 likes on today's stream. That would be really impressive. What is my overall ranking right now? It is right above my head, 139k. Very happy with that. What is the best midfielder for a free hit? I think it probably would be a United midfielder this week, right? I think Timber's going to get the rest and Calafiori will start. There could be hella rotation, really, couldn't be? There really could. Like I said, this week, so much. Saw and Gabriel to Chow and Gakpo for a -4. I don't hate that as a -4. I don't hate that. Seems like a good play next season would be to include one set and forget budget defensive midfielder. 100% FPL Bulldog. I think I should have just stuck with Elliot Anderson and just kept him, especially at the start when we've got to get rid of probably our bench boost again early. Just having like a set and forget guy and then just going for it. Yeah, he's still 0.9 million of that budget. Should I keep Igor Thiago in my lineup? Depends who else you've got available in your squad, but I would be very tempted to keep him if the other options aren't really that appealing. Walter Mardo or João Pedro? I'd be tempted to play João Pedro this week. Is Embuemo a crazy shout? I don't think it's a crazy shout. So, yeah, I don't think it's a crazy shout. Every 50 likes, Tom takes off one piece of clothing. One is already gone. All right. I mean, it's going to end up very quickly me sat bollock naked on this stream. And I don't think anybody wants to see that. So, yeah, I've got 2 socks, so that can get us to 150. Then after that, I am down. I'm going to be sat in my pants. So if this stream got to 200 likes, I would then just be sat in my pants. After that, then I'd be sat just, top would be off. It just would be my pants. So yeah. But I'm not going to take it off. Yep, this is a Chelsea away kit. I got it in like a mystery box, so yeah. Is what it is. I'm not a Chelsea fan, but hey, if it's comfy and it's clean, then why not? Let's just wear it. That is for the secret late night stream for members, yeah. Oh dear, dear, dear. Strip FPL. That's what we're going for. Strip FPL. Everyone remember Strip FIFA back in the day? Now you're getting it with Strip FPL, baby. Do keep your questions coming in. Obviously, we'll be doing team reviews in another 5 minutes. So if you do have any questions, do let me know. And yeah, we'll try and help you guys out. Obviously, we'll be live up until all the big boys go live around 4:30. And yeah, we'll just see where today's stream gets us. Start and die or Minter. Brighton's home record is ridiculously good. I think they've only lost 2 all season, 2 all year at home. So I will be tempted to maybe play Minter. Love your content, mate, all the way from Sri Lanka. Bruno is very risky, but worth the risk at the moment. I think it is a gamble. It is a gamble, but could be a gamble that massively pays off and smashes us into the top 100k. I hope. Should we hold Pope or sell? Looks like he's probably going to miss maybe like 4 game weeks, so I probably would suggest selling. Yeah, I probably would suggest selling. If you're enjoying today's stream, make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're hitting subscribe as well for more content on the channel. And like I said, we'll be doing team reviews in another few minutes or so. As a United fan, I really want and don't want to cap Bruno this week. Yeah, I imagine that is going to be a bit of a ring stinger if he does blank. Yeah. Hi, Tom. Gakpo or Rice for Saw? Ooh, Gakpo's probably the more explosive. Rice is probably the steady Eddie on that one. Start Vicario or Dubravka? Probably go Vicario. Do you think many people are holding bench boost until 5 free transfers to build a bench? I've not thought about that. There could be definitely some people doing a lot of that. Must be a Zoomer thing. Yeah, it definitely was. It was back in the day. Evan Nielsen, I'm not 100% sure starts, to be honest. Best Pope replacement, if you've not got an Arsenal defender, look at Raya, Donnarumma, Sanchez is a player that I've not seen anybody really talk about, and then probably Verbergen as your cheap defender for this week. Those would probably be my options heading into this week. That's probably where I would be at. We're only 5 likes away from 100 likes on today's video, so if you are enjoying it, make sure you're hitting that like button. Get us to 100. Sean in the chat said, did somebody say 29k? Well. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna have to go and check this. Oh, it's a nice feeling opening it and it just seeing 99.99. There we go. 29k followers on the TikTok. 1.2 million views is mental. Bit frightening, but here we are, I guess. Evan Nielsen owes all Semenyo owners an apology. He really does. One like apparently. Anyone for the 100th like? There we go, baby. There we go. 100 likes, nice and easy, nice and early, just before team reviews as well. Thank you very much, guys. Really do appreciate the support. We're not doing the strip FPL. We're not every 100 likes I take something off. By the way, if you were waiting around for 100 likes to see the top come off, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. I'm not going there. The top is firmly staying on. Already done. Saar to Anderson. Would you do Senesi to Timber or Munoz for a -4? Depends what other defenders you've got, Harry. If you've got all right cover that can get away with it, then yeah, I probably probably would just leave it and not probably going to be worth the -4 in my opinion. Oh, some people really wanted the strip FPL apparently. Everybody's off now. But for you guys, all right, you ready? One sock is going to come off. There it is. One sock off. Boom. That'll keep them. This is it. This is it. Rule 1 of making good content. Keep the audience engaged. Take your sock off. People are there. They want the strip FPL. So yeah, 150 and the next sock comes off. Right, it has just gone past. Let's get some team reviews done for you guys then. Where are we? Head over to Twitter. I think we've had a decent amount sent in again. Yeah. Let's have a look at some of these then that we've had sent in. Where were we up to? I think we did that one last. I've got 2 free transfers and 0.4 million in the bank. Is there anyone that I'd be desperately trying to bring in here? Probably not. I probably would maybe roll that, take 3 into next week and have a little bit of a big reset before obviously we get to the game week 16 transfers. I probably would go for that. Thoughts on this team? I don't know who Gomez is. So yeah, that worries me. Reece James could maybe be rotated as well. Cherky could. This could very easily be rotation nightmare hell. I don't know how many transfers you've got, but that team could be very painful this week. I have 1 free transfer and plan to change Gravenberch. Suggest, please, should I play a bench boost this week? Yeah, you could probably actually get away with the bench boost this week. However, I will just say this midweek is notorious for rotations. So, yeah, could get a bit wild. Louis has put Gakpo in. Sees nice and hard at work. Gakpo in this week. Team looks pretty steady, though, across the board there, mate. Very decent indeed. Hi, Tom. Removing Senesi and Saar for Delict and Gibbs White. Thoughts on this team? Still have TC and free hit left. When is the best time to use them, Frank? Thanks. Free hit could be open in 16. Same could be with the triple captaincy as well. I would personally say whatever week you are feeling is a great captaincy option. Just go for it with the TC. Like I said, 16 or 17 Haaland plays West Ham. I think it's 17. So you could go free hit 16, triple captain in 17. That could really set you up nicely over the next few weeks. This one is for my brother. He's on a free hit this game week and wants to know your thoughts about his team. Any Chelsea players to put in his team and starting to Foden, no or thanks. Yeah, I think there is a real lack of Chelsea probably for this team. I would be tempted to maybe have a look at some Chelsea players. Like a Chalobah, I reckon, could be pretty steady for this week. I think, yeah, I probably would go like full in. Richards as well. There's rumours that he might not play, so could be a bit dicey. 1 free transfer used. Saar to Minter, 3.5 million in the bank. Yep, seems pretty decent. Don't mind that. Thanks, mate. 0 in the bank, but 4 free transfers. Wow, okay. Bowen, probably Cullen makes the move as well. Reinders and Senesi are probably your players out this week. Plenty of, obviously, players we've spoke about in today's stream that you could, of course, look to rotate with there. Bench Enzo or Thiago. One more just come in and we'll do that one as the final one. Oh, I think you bench Thiago there. I think your benching decision is just right, but never feels good to bench a penalty taker. 0 free transfers, 1.8 in the middle in the bank. Next move is Minter to Caicedo. Yeah, I don't think you need to make it this week, but yeah, looks good. Looks pretty steady. I rate that. I do rate that. Matcha Mills in the chat as well. I hope you're doing good. You have missed my sock coming off. For every 50 likes we get, a piece of clothing goes off. That is not what we're doing, but someone suggested that. Which jersey am I wearing today? We've got the Chelsea one on today. I think it was the third or away kit from a few seasons ago. So yeah. Unfortunately, I don't do team reviews with IDs. If you want to send it me over on Twitter, that is where I review all my teams. And do that every half an hour. So the next round is at 3 o'clock. Other than that, we don't do team reviews that way. Whew. He is very good. He is very good. Is Meerkat, but I also see him like being like, "Oh my days!" Like it's like hard to predict this week because it is just going to be chaos everywhere. There is genuinely going to just be chaos everywhere. Is FPL Tom going to be the first creator to switch OF? Keep your clothes on and you do it. No, I'm not going to be moving to OF. Yeah, I think probably Mark Gui will get some minutes this week. He probably will get some minutes this week, won't he? I reckon so anyway. Thoughts on Walter longer term can win all the next 5 fixtures. The problem with Walter is AFCON, Vissa is not off to AFCON, sorry. So he's probably going to be staying. And that probably means he's going to start to eat in some of Walter minutes. So yeah, I don't think he's going to probably be a great long-term option. Love the jersey. Thank you very much. Do I go Sarr to Minter or Rice? My other two Arsenal players are Raya and Timber, and I can't afford Saka. Fair, gives you a little bit of coverage into that Arsenal attack then. So yeah, I don't mind Rice as an option. Do keep the questions coming in, guys. Anything that you do have ahead of the deadline, do let me know. Obviously, we'll be live up until all the big boys go live a little bit later on. So plenty more time with me. Team reviews, like I said, every 30 minutes. So there'll be another one at 3 o'clock. And yeah, all good stuff. The likes and the subscribers keep flying in, so keep them coming in as well. Let's see if we can try and hit 22k by the end of the year. That is the goal I've set myself. Would be absolutely amazing if we could do that. So like I said, if you are enjoying it, go for it. FPL Tom, I live in Malta, and please shout out. And thoughts on -8 bench boost. Vicario, Senesi, Caicedo out for Dino, Nico, and Bruno G, and just to get it done and captain Bruno. I don't think I would. We've got like the free transfers coming up, so you could just go for that and do that in a little bit. Do I think Enzo will be rotated? I think the Caicedo probably covers him a little bit from being able to do that. Start Thiago versus Arsenal could get away with a benching. I think I'd maybe be tempted to play him if I had him. If my rest of my team didn't look great, I would be tempted to play him. What is your UCL rank? 6.5k. So not doing too bad on that either. Yeah, we're in decent positions on both games at the moment, which is strange. EFL Fantasy as well is absolutely cooking up. When's team reviews? Like I said, the next one will be at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. Christmas, the snow's coming down. Christmas. Nice little festive background we've gone for as well. Mixing it up. Best formation. People always ask me this, and I never understand what people like are trying to interpret. Like, it's just the players you've got with the best fixtures. Like, I don't think there's ever going to be a best formation in the game. So I wouldn't deep it too much. It's more based on the players. I'm 27k. Very nice. Decent that, mate. Oh, I'm sorry, man. If you want to join the FPL Cartel Discord, head to that. And obviously, we're doing team reviews over there as well. And I will be live in the Discord chat after, of course, today's stream has finished as well. I capped Vitinha last week. Big haul. Man, that is fair play. Fair play. Vitinha absolutely slapped it, didn't he? Absolutely smashed it out of the park. Guimaraes or Minter. Probably would prefer to go for Minter. When to use the bench boost, which game week is favorable. Like I've said to you guys from probably the start of the season, anytime you've got 15 full players available to play, just get that bench boost active. Get it out of the way. Don't deep it too much. I managed to get 17 off my bench boost and had like City were playing Everton. Like, it wasn't a great week for it. Caicedo to Anderson and Saar to Gakpo. Don't mind those moves. Yep. Free hit Martinez, Timber, Munoz, O'Reilly, Szoboszlai, Enzo, Saka, Bruno, Mateta. Lack of Chelsea, like, is a great fixture for Chelsea this week. So I think there's probably got to be a little bit more of them sprinkled in there. Waltemada or João Pedro? Waltemada. Let me, hang on, let me get the link for you, mate. Let me get the link for you. So yeah, by the way, if anybody does want to come and check this out, it is run by myself and Golden Goal Fantasy Football. Feel free to head over to the FPL Cartel sub-launch. Free hit for 14, worth it? It could be. However, it could be also a little bit dicey. Like, there are going to be some benching headaches. Semenyo will take Bournemouth's next pen or Tavernier. I think it could be Tavernier. Maybe Semenyo takes them back. We really don't know till we see one. So, yeah, we're just going to have to wait, I guess. Vitinha is the best centre mid in the world, in my opinion. A joy to watch. He really is. I feel like he's one of those players which you probably wouldn't appreciate until you watch them live, how good they are. Same with, like I got the pleasure of watching City against Dortmund a few weeks ago. Reinders and Foden, until you watch them in like person, you were like, oh my days. Yeah. Unbelievable. I want Bruno F, Bruno G, and Anderson. Not sure which two. For me, I probably would have Bruno F and Anderson. Will Waltemada get full minutes? I think he will for this week, but longer term, like I said, with Visser kind of kicking around now, being fit and available, will probably start to eat into some of his minutes. Hey, Semenyo or João Pedro? João Pedro could have the bigger upside this week. Probably Semenyo safer for minutes. I think if Tavernier is on penalties, probably would, go for that. Wait, you're a Chelsea fan, Tom? Thought you were an Arsenal fan, I'm guessing. No, I support Mansfield. Yeah. If you know who Mansfield are, fair play. But yeah, that's my team. Visser's not going to AFCON yet. Saw that yesterday. Not off to AFCON. So probably, not great. Have you used the bench boost or triple captain yet? I've used the bench boost a few weeks ago. So yeah. Tom liked Vitinha that much. His hair and mustache even follow. They do. What were you thinking about Mateta? I think there could be dicey minutes in there, couldn't there? There could be dicey minutes in there. Do you prefer Barca or Real Madrid? Probably Barca. Who do you like most in the Prem? Brentford are my team in the Prem. I absolutely just love the way that club is run. And people at the start of the year were like, "Oh, why do you like Brentford so much? Why do you think they'll be fine?" I'll be like, because they just know how to recruit. They know how to optimize every opportunity as well within games. Like, they're a ridiculous team at it. O'Reilly or Chow if money wasn't a problem. I mean, they're very similar in price anyway, so I'd still go Chow. Who is the best defender this week? Probably maybe like a Forest defender or a Palace defender for like a 1 weeker. Ooh, could do. We could see quite a bit of rotation from Chelsea as well. Like I said, it's just a really hard week to predict where things are going to happen. Which Prem in the club do you despise the most? Probably Forest. Like, if you know where Mansfield is, it's kind of similar-ish. So, yeah, that's where I would go in that one. Yeah, many did think Brentford would be relegated, and I pretty much rebuffed it a lot of the time. I was like, nah, not for me. I don't think they're good captains this week. Name's Eugene. I'm a librarian. Great video, that. Will you bring in Foden at some point? No, I know the minutes have been good, but I'm not going to bring in a player that has to do all that. Like, kind of, pet roulette. I'm not dicing into that. I'm not buying into that. Mansfield fan, Brentford is his team, wearing a Chelsea jersey. That is me, Mr. Plastic, if you've ever seen it. Raya Verbergen or Donnarumma. I have an Arsenal defender as well. I think if you already got that little bit of Arsenal coverage, then maybe Raya's not going to be worth it at the price point. So I probably would be going for Donnarumma. Will Thiago start? I think he will. Nobody does like Leeds. Leeds are the worst team in the Prem. So yeah. Rubber Ducky in the chat says quack quack. Quack quack back to you, mate. What to do with Saliba? Doesn't look like it's a long-term injury. Looks like it's kind of just a short-term injury. So yeah, I won't deep it too much. Start Richards or Thiago. Oh. With Richards being a little bit of a doubt, I would be maybe tempted to go Thiago, you know. Nah, Leeds are not better than Real Vallecano. Did I say that right then? I said it and then I just stopped. Words just stopped coming out. Someone else saying quack quack in the chat to Rubber Ducky. It's been a weird stream. It's been a weird stream, I'll tell you that. Not the most conventional stream in the world. But hey ho, we're enjoying it. We're getting through things. Another round of team reviews in 15 minutes, by the way, guys. So yeah, they will be coming up shortly. I want to set up a defense with Richards, Van de Ven, and Van Dijk. Fair enough. 4 players on the bench, all injured. I ain't transferring anyone. Hope for an average game week from all. It could be. I genuinely think this could be a mad game week. There could be so many twists and turns between captaincy of Haaland and Bruno Fernandes and stuff like that. Yeah, I ain't gonna do a stream about politics. Yeah. I am not going to do one of those. I've got Senesi, Pope, and Saw out. I've only got 1 free transfer. Pope you can probably get away with, so I would probably look at other alternative options. So Senesi depends what other defenders you've got available. If you can put a decent free out, that's fine. So that kind of narrows it down to Saw as your replacement. If you've not got the decent defenders, then Senesi's the choice. Team reviews will be over on my X. Any chance Mansfield has a promotion in the future? Probably not. We're probably about at our level. So yeah, probably not. I think we're about where we should be. Rare for Pope for a -4 doesn't really seem worth it in my opinion. So yeah, probably not. Gakpo or Minter? Probably would lean more towards Minter for minute security. What are my expectations with Keane? DEFCON at best. I'm not expecting a clean sheet. It's just going to be DEFCON. Thoughts on Ahmad as a cheap alternative? I mean, Ahmad is off to what's it called? AFCON at some point, so he will be a future transfer out. Yeah, we're not doing politics in the chat. Oh, get him on mute. Get him on mute. Bye. Given up on playing it safe. Gakpo as captain now. I've never been to Singapore. Never been to Asia. Only ever been to Europe. Switch Bruno Fernandes for Mbuemo for a -4. Not going to be worth it in my personal opinion. Yeah, I personally won't do that. Enzo or Minter? Ooh, again, minute security, probably go Minter. Defenders are decent. Saar can bench for Thiago up front against Arsenal. I could go Minter for Saar. Yep, I don't mind that. Do not mind that. Saka to Palmer this week? Nope. Can I adopt you? No. Pope, Senesi, and Saar out for Raya, Chow, and Minter, all for a -4. Don't hate that -4, you know? Don't hate that -4. Who should be lined up with Van Dijk and Richards? Chow, Keane, Timber. Any of those? Do you expect any surprises this week? Yes, I expect mad, like genuinely mad rotation this week. Is Cash a shout? Probably not. Probably not. I think there's better, cheaper defenders. Van Heck for me is a much better defender. Thank you for the £1 donation, Kerif. Appreciate that, my friend. That's all I'm getting. That's all I need for the taxman anyway. So we'll take the £1 budget. The taxman can not take as much money off me this year. That'd be great. Richards, Anderson, or Rodon? Probably Richards, but there are doubts around whether or not he'll play. Who would you buy for Mbuemo in AFCON? I think Palmer, if he's playing regular minutes, could be the pick I want to go for. I think Chalobah starts, like he's pretty much just playing 90 minutes, isn't he? A lot of the time. Will Saka be on pens? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he will be. Can I sell SA and go for Bruno captain? Yes. If you ever do come to India, do let me know. I'm basically the king here. Well, that's nice then. Enjoy work. Weird question. What would you do if you found out your sister is dating Lamine Yamal? Be cool. We get him on the stream. We get him on the stream. Yeah, we'll get him on the stream. Newcastle win against Spurs? Yeah, I think so. Come to Nepal if you like mountains. They're all right. I guess we've already got a lot of them in England, like Scotland and Wales is quite hilly and stuff like that. Captain in Thiago, like previous week. Your thoughts, Tom? Probably not for me. Like Arsenal defense, yeah, they are unreal. So I personally, for me, wouldn't go for it. Would you sell Semenyo anytime soon? Probably in game week 16 when we get the luxury, the 5 free transfers is probably where I'm going to go for. The grin Tom just did is how I felt after captaining Dango last week. Yeah, I imagine that was a sick feeling. Imagine though, like 80 minutes of nothing. You'd be like, oh God. And then boom, just absolute madness, an assist, then a goal right at the death of the game as well. Oh, that must have been a sick feeling, mate. That must have been a sick feeling. If you are enjoying today's stream, make sure you're hitting that like button. Let's see if we can get today's stream up to the 150 likes. And obviously, keep subscribing if you are new to the channel. Team ratings in 8 minutes as well. I was stressed, I imagine, man. I don't know if anybody's seen that picture of like Matthew McConaughey with like a cigarette, like that meme. That's how I imagine you were. Keane, Van Heck, or Chow? I'd probably go Chow, Van Heck, Keane in that order as my favourites. Gakpo, Enzo, or Minter? Just one. Don't have funds for Bruno or Foden. Probably would be Minter then, just for minute security. Saul has been confirmed out for the next 2 games by Glasner. He said that he will be assessing him before he goes off to AFCON. So he might actually be able to sneak through it. Do you think I should captain Buemo, Haaland, Anderson, Mateta? I would probably look at Haaland out of those lot. João Pedro, Bruno, Guimaraes, or Semenyo. I'm guessing for cap, probably Bruno. Who's the most famous footballer you've met? I have met Raheem Sterling. I have met Oxlade-Chamberlain. I did a film shoot with them. And I've also met David Moyes. So they're your top options. They're your top options for this week. FPL be making me cheer the wrong results. Yeah, it must be so weird supporting a Premier League team. Caicedo is confirmed out for the next 2 games. Ooh, rough. Is it worth swapping Szoboszlai for Gakpo or Eze and Mbuemo for Foden? No. Yep, your team looks pretty decent for this week, mate. Looks good. Oh, la see. I don't know why, but I've got Maroon 5 in my head today. I woke up and it was just locked in my head. Is it called like Sunday morning? Your thought on the Cole Palmer transfer in? Probably wouldn't do it this week. Like, he's got to build his match fitness back up. Yeah. Yeah, Sterling's probably the most. Probably then, I don't know, like, Ox and Moyes are also pretty big names. Best stadium and atmosphere in England. Ooh. Trying to think of the ones I've been to. When I went Bradford when they won promotion, you could literally feel the ground shaking there. So yeah, that's not a bad one. I've been to some good places with some good atmospheres, to be fair. Tom's making bread in 2 different types. Yeah. Not that much bread, mate. Maps by Maroon 5 is also a banger. Yeah, Maroon 5 have got some absolute tunes. They have got some tunes. Saliba, will he start? I doubt it. Hi, Tom. Would you triple captain in Buemo? I wouldn't, but if you've got a gut feeling about it, then I would go for it. I would go for it. Yeah, Sterling used to be like an absolutely unreal baller, didn't he, back in the day? Like, he was just so consistently good. It is a real shame that it's kind of just all fizzled out a little bit now, isn't it? Chelsea's fixtures from 20 are super nice. That's probably when I'll get Palmer. Yeah. Tom, I love your hair in the most straight way possible. The curls are yummy. Thanks, mate. Didn't sound sus at all. But would you rank Rice, Anderson, and Minter? Anderson, Minter, Rice. Just Rice is purely third because I think there's just so many great Arsenal options, especially when Saliba, Gabriel, Timber are all fit and available, and Saka. Like, yeah. I just joined. Can you tell the reason you're captaining Bruno over Haaland? I'm still confused. Yep, there's a few reasons. Fulham are currently second for open play expected goals conceded. So the only team better than them at conceding less opportunities from open play is Arsenal. They've had a pretty good home record so far this season. Interestingly as well, Bruno Fernandes is up against West Ham, who are the 19th for expected goals conceded, 19th for goals conceded, 19th for big chances conceded. Obviously as well, Bruno has multiple avenues to points, baseline bonus, DEFCON, an assist, penalties, set pieces. He's got it all, hasn't he? So, yeah, that's why I'm leaning towards Bruno. I just think there's an opportunity to maybe go against Haaland this week. We're going to go with Bruno Fernandes. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, then of course we are probably going to have a little bit of a drop in rank. But looking at the poll, it does seem like more and more people are maybe swaying towards Bruno Fernandes a little bit. Like, we've nearly had 1,000 votes. 32% of you are apparently on Bruno captain. So it does seem like people are maybe swayed a little bit this week to go against Erling Haaland. I don't mind that. Even God can't save West Ham. Yeah, they are a poor team. Enzo or Minter? Probably Minter for just minute security. Which week would you say is the best to free hit? I would probably go 16. 16 maybe would be my next free hit window where I probably would look at. Yeah, that'd probably be the week. We're going to do more team reviews in 2 minutes time. So make sure you're getting them sent in over on Twitter. If you are enjoying the stream as well, make sure you are liking, subscribing, all that good stuff. We're on that road to 22,000 subscribers before the end of the year. And yeah, let's see if we can make it happen. I've no idea what's going off in my chat now. I got Saliba and Calafiori. No clue what to do. Got one free transfer. Help me. Ugh. That is difficult, isn't it? That is a little bit difficult. Who's your other defenders? Would be my question. Who is your other defenders? I'm just going to pop into Golden's stream, see if he has gone for the Bruno captain. Does anybody know if he's gone for the Bruno captain? Or is he still on... where's he at? What's he on? He's got Haaland. He's got Haaland, hasn't he? What did his poll? What's his poll at? 31% for Bruno. Tom, your thoughts on Anderson from Forest as a potential captaincy option this week? I probably wouldn't go for that. Yeah, I probably wouldn't go for that. I think there are plenty of better options. I haven't died. Is he a sell? I don't think he's a sell. Like, he's on penalties. His minutes are very consistent, very good. So I won't deep it too much. Rodon, Gvardiol, Gahey, Saliba, Calafiori. So you can play Gvardiol, Gahey, and probably Calafiori and hope that he starts and get away with it still. Like, you've still got a back three there. Saw and then die for Bruno and Anderson / Minter or Saka and Anderson. I like the Bruno and Anderson move. I think that's decent. Yeah, I reckon they're probably about the same, Abby. He's probably going to be effective ownership like 150, which is still scary. I'm still going to need him to blank. But taking on Haaland at 150 rather than like some weeks where he's usually 200 does feel like a bit better, doesn't it? Like, it's better. It's so much better than the 200%. So yeah, hopefully he just doesn't go big. That's my hope anyway. Yep. Oh, team reviews. Yes, I didn't check the time. I didn't see the time. Apologies. Yeah, I will take a look at those in a second. We'll have a look at those. Let's get some team reviews done. Baby, all I see. Here we go. Another good batch of teams sent in. Thank you very much, everybody, for sending in their teams. I can't remember where we got up to last time. Did we do all these? Yeah, I feel like we did all these. I'm going to say this is the first one. Currently on Mateta Captain, as my rank is so low. I mean, I think there's probably better options. I would be more tempted with like an Mbeumo or a Gakpo captain ahead of Mateta this week. View and suggestions on the team. Personally, bench Calafiori because I think Arsenal will concede. Fair. I mean, the rest of the team looks pretty decent for this week anyway, so don't hate it. Switch to Chalobah to Senesi. 0.8 million left. Thinking of transferring João Pedro or Semenyo next week. Who should I get? Thiago will be a very popular option up front, so that's probably where I would look at. Leeds and Wolves in their next two games. So, yeah, lots of people are going to be looking to hop on him. Probably sell Semenyo to Bruno next week. Made one transfer, Sarr to Anderson. Very nice. I like that move. A lot of people all of a sudden buying Bruno, eh? How the tide has turned. I did two transfers, -4, Riley for Senesi and Anderson for Caicedo. Fair. I don't mind those moves. Made my transfers this week. Sarr to Rice. Any thoughts or any suggestions? Nope. Seems like a good move. I think you've got it pretty much nailed on the head. Just a bench order. Our teams don't look alike, do they? They really don't. Benching Chalobah. I would actually probably play Chalobah ahead of Chow, in my opinion. I would play Chalobah ahead of Chow. Put Chow first sub. O'Reilly. Yeah, that probably won't how I'd do it. Minter Hall incoming, mark my words. He's gone with the captain. Fair play. Big balls on that one, mate. Big balls on that one. Out of 10, probably like a 7. Minutes risk. Not good. Is it possible? Is this my best possible lineup for game week 14? I would put Chow ahead of Dango as first sub. And then, yeah, I think you're good to go. Saw to Bruno, very nice move that you were able to afford that. Yep, looks very decent, mate. Very decent. Great stuff. We will do another round of team reviews at 3:30, and then the final one will be at 4 o'clock. Welcome to the chat, Andy, mate. Hope you're doing good. I was like, I haven't seen you in a while, so yeah, no worries. Decent amount of people in here already. If you haven't already, make sure you are hitting that subscribe button. That, by the way, guys, it does push this stream out to more people, and it'd be great if we could get some more people in today's stream. See if we can maybe get to that 300 mark. That would be very decent indeed. Hi, Tom. Should I bring in Munoz or Richards? I probably wouldn't look to go either right now, to be honest. Sell and die to Gakpo for a -4 and bench Thiago for a 3-5-2. Nah, I wouldn't do that I don't think I'd do that for a -4. Doesn't seem like the best move for a -4 in my opinion. So I personally wouldn't do it. Should I take a -4 to get Munoz in for Senesi in addition to doing Saar and Anderson? Have Richard, so if he doesn't play, I'm stuck with Alderente. Should I do? I don't think I would get Munoz in. Munoz wouldn't be the one I would get in for the -4. I probably would start Gravenberch. Like, both seem a bit crap of a pick this week. Yeah, I probably would go Gravenberch on that one. Obviously, do keep your questions coming in the chat, guys. Any questions you do have, do let me know. Should I captain Bruno if I'm 3 mil rank? Just seems so risky. I mean, you're a mile back. What's the worst that could happen? Is Mbeumo and Bruno a massive difference in terms of captaincy pick? Probably not. I would just say Bruno's got more avenues to points. No worries, mate. Obviously understand people have other commitments. Just glad you're here, my man. Start Rodon or take a hit to do James to Chow and bench Rodon. Is that going to be worth the -4? Probably not. I don't think it's probably going to be worth the -4 in my opinion. Mateta or Thiago? Thiago longer term. Thoughts on Bruno G? Yeah, any players like Bruno G, Rice, Anderson, I do feel like you have to play them every single week to get the full value out of them. Otherwise, they're probably not going to be worth their weight in gold. Best Caicedo replacement? Probably Anderson or Minter. Oh yeah, Haaland's 100% going to hold now that we've all gone Bruno captain. It's just the way it goes sometimes with this game, isn't it? It defo is going to happen. Thank you very much for the donation, my friend. He says start João Pedro or a back for Virgil Dallart, Burn Timber. I'd be tempted to maybe go with João Pedro. Yeah, I think I would go with João Pedro. Thanks, man, for the donation. Appreciate that. Should I start Crystal Palace goalkeeper Henderson or Emi Martinez this week? I think you go Henderson, right? The clean sheet odds will be better. So that's the way I would go with that one. I would start Chow ahead of James. Gakpo and Mbeumo, probably go Mbeumo just for minutes. Best Senesi replacement, thinking Chow or Chalobah or O'Reilly. Yeah, probably Chow, Chalobah or Van Heck are probably my top picks that I would be looking to go for realistically. Is O'Reilly a good pick? Just entering Pep Roulette in a very busy period of time. So, yeah, probably some big potential benchings on the cards coming up. Should I play Saliba alongside Timber or play KDH? I'd play if I've got Saliba, I would play him. I would just have my first sub ready. Like, as long as my first sub's ready, we're all good. Convince me on the Bruno captain. West Ham are the worst side for expected goals, the second worst side for expected goals conceded, second worst side for goals conceded in the league, second worst side for big chances conceded. They've also conceded the most goals from centre mids so far this season. And also, Fulham are the second best defence for expected goals from open play, only beaten by Arsenal. There you go. There are my facts for you right now. No team news as of yet. This is everything we've got. Nothing as of yet. So, yeah, I doubt we'll probably get anything. The leaks have been watertight in recent weeks. So, yeah, I do doubt we'll probably get anything. Oh. Has that convinced you? Has it changed your mind? Let me know if that's changed anybody else's mind and they're thinking about going with the Bruno captain. Should I have two Palace defenders or do I transfer Munoz and Gahey? I think Munoz and Gahey will be fine. Start Thiago at Enzo this week. I think you do play the fixture and hope he starts. You go Enzo. Thank you. One more, please. And Ndiaye or Foden. I think Ndiaye is probably the safer minutes pick for the next few weeks before he heads off to AFCON. Foden could just be very explosive, but could also very easily get benched. I would probably go Chow, and I would say the only reason I probably would be a little bit wary of Rice is he is a player that you're going to have to play every single week and could eat up a key Arsenal spot further down the line. Yeah, for some reason there must be a big leak in the Liverpool camp at the moment, but every other team is pretty watertight. They've flushed most of them out, right? Flushed most of them out. Why would Enzo not play? Just Chelsea have got a hell of a lot of games. That would be it. There will be just some weird and random benchings this game week, by the way. Start Doku or Thiago. I would probably go Thiago. Yeah, I probably would lean towards Thiago for that one. Would you say it's a differential captain pick as well? 100%. 100% is a massive differential captaincy pick this week. 18.2% selected just within the game. So, yeah, it is a big gamble, but I do feel like there is scope to maybe take on Haaland this week. That's why we've gone with it. So, yeah, let's see. We haven't had the leak yet. This was on, like, someone leaked that Salah was going to be benched, and then he was. Swap Enzo for Bruno Guimaraes. No, probably not this week ahead of Leeds. Unless, again, we got early team news for the Chelsea game, but we're not because it's tomorrow, so I doubt it. Should I transfer Eze at home to Brentford or Kudus away at Newcastle? I'd be more tempted to get rid of Kudus. Like, Spurs are just not a good side. They are really, really bad. Yeah, I probably would not want any Spurs players. Even more, the bigger risk, the bigger the reward. Hey ho, let's see how it ends up, man. Yeah, Richard's minutes might be a risk. I've seen him in some predicted lineups. I've not seen him in others. Yeah, like I said, this week could be a bit chaos. Is he going to be worth the hit? I don't think he is probably going to be worth the hit, in my opinion. Maybe longer term, yes, but we're going to get like unlimited transfers in 5 pretty much transfers in 16 anyway. So yeah, I would be a little bit cautious on it. Pick a defender that could go absolutely crazy this week. Milenkovic from Forest. De Ligt. Yeah. Senesi to De Ligt. I don't like De Ligt as a long-term pick, by the way. I just think West Ham are terrible at corners, and he might score this week. The problem is, longer term, I probably wouldn't go for it. Just because United's defense is god-awful. But for a short-term pick, it might not even be the worst. How much is De Ligt? I might do it for a 2-game week punt. If I can afford it, I might do it. I've got like transfers to get through. 5. Damn, if he was like 4.5, I would have been tempted, you know. Mateus de Ligt here could have been a beast. Those 2 games then get him out in 16. Could have been the one, but yeah, if you're looking for a short-term pick, I don't mind de Ligt for these 2 games here because West Ham are terrible at set pieces. They've conceded some of the most set piece goals in the league. United as well have actually been really good from set pieces this year. And we've seen de Ligt already benefit from this. The Tottenham game. What was the other one he got a goal in? There was another one as well, wasn't there? Or am I just making it up? Maybe it was just the one Tottenham goal. But yeah, United up against West Ham with set pieces. Again, that leans into Bruno Fernandes as well. Who takes the corners? Who's on free kicks? Bruno Fernandes. Brian and Mbeumo. Like, that's another reason that I think these picks are probably going to be very good moving forward. Well, especially this week. And then they get Wolves next week as well. Sign me up for that. Gakpo captain. Yeah, I don't mind it. Could just maybe be a bit of a minutes risk would be the only concern I would have. So yeah. Yeah, they probably have some sort of information, don't they then? They probably have some sort of information around it. Who's been playing centre-back for United? Because I might make a really short-term move. Let's have a look. Who has been playing centre-back alongside de Ligt? If they're cheap enough, hey-ho, I might go there. Lenny Yoro. Minutes seem all over the shop, so probably not worth it. Same with Tubby Custard. More 90s in there for sure. Is he hitting DEFCON? How much is Luke Shaw? I don't hate it. I don't hate it, you know. Does he hit DEFCON? Nah, not hitting DEFCON. It would just be purely for clean sheets. Next 2, though. Next 2, you could see some clean sheets in there. What other United defenders are there? Who else have we got? de Ligt. Maguire's injured at the moment, which is the big one. Like if Maguire was fit and available, I would absolutely gobble him up for the next 2 weeks. Shaw, Yoro, Mazwat. It's just all like. I think it probably is like Lenny Yoro, but again, I don't think he hits defensive contributions. His minutes seem just crazy. So I don't think that seems like the best move. Like if I was to replace, help if I'm not stuck on United. If I was to replace Richards with anyone, it would actually be Van Heck. Some pretty big scores in there. But yeah, if I could get to de Ligt for 2 weeks, I don't mind that. Hopefully my rank is not clouded by Haaland tonight. We can all wish, mate. We can all wish, eh? Maybe we look at Bruno then. Maybe we look at Bruno. I don't think they're due another bad spell. They're not due another bad spell. They do. Their XG conceded is abysmal. It would just purely be like a 2-game week punt. Because obviously Richards is a doubt for this week, so I would have them for the next 2 weeks. I would take the United defender, get the points out of them for West Ham and Wolves. And the only reason I was looking at de Ligt was because how many set-piece goals West Ham have conceded. Other than that, I probably wouldn't even consider it. Yeah, he's nailed. He's nailed. What is better, a -4 for Bruno or just captain Haaland? I just captain Haaland. Does Richard start? That's the debate I'm having with myself. Like, do I think Richard starts? Because it is a good fixture if he does play. Otherwise, is it maybe worth making a transfer like a Van Heck, like some great long-term fixtures in there for Brighton? And I've got to use up these transfers anyway, because next week my plan is to do Thiago to for Mateta. I don't really have another move I would ideally want to make. I don't know how much Delo is. I think he's quite expensive as well, is he? And I don't think his minutes have been great, have they, right? Delo, what's 90, 32, 10, 68, 90, 90? Yeah, just not trustworthy. Like I said, if I could have afforded, what's his name? Oh my God. Can't think of his name. Delic, I probably would have gone there, but I can't. Best defender for 6 million. I really like Chow. I think he's a good option. Yeah, Chow's a steady just pick, isn't he? Other than that, probably looking at a Van Heck, who I've said before as well. I can't quite get any of the Arsenal ones right. So yeah. I've swapped Senesi for Chalobah and brought in Anderson and Viffa in midfield. The thing with those two players there that you brought in midfield, you're just going to have to play them every single week because of defensive contributions and stuff like that. We'll have Esteve and Dubravka coming on for Pope and Senesi. 1 free transfer, not in the bank. Do I roll or downgrade them? I also have Richards and Cunha. You might need to use that 1 free transfer to find some better players for this week. Akpom for a 1 week punt. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that one. KDH or Ndai, I still probably would lean more towards Ndai. I just think the penalty appeal would probably do it for me. What do you think of the best defenders longer term? Probably will be like a chat. Like if Charles Minutes continue to be great, plays for Newcastle, who's always got a great home record in the Premier League and have had one for a decent amount of years now. Arsenal defenders are going to be guaranteed lock picks as well. And I think if we can find a decent Chelsea player that plays every single week, like Sanchez or Chalobah, then I think they're probably going to be great long-term picks as well. So yeah, that is where we are at. Best game week for a bench boost, any week where you've got a full 15 that you can see playing, for me, realistically, is probably going to be the best week for it. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Obviously, we've got another round of team reviews in a minute. He's come in the chat. He's dropped it in the chat. Yep. I know exactly why you've done that, mate. I know exactly why you've done that. Yeah, James though might not play. Maresca made some comment about his like minutes and stuff. So yeah, I would be very cautious for that one. Could be KDH, could be one of the forwards that they've got, could be Garner. Like there are a few players up for grabs on it. I imagine it would be KDH, but we'll have to wait and see until they get one. Best replacement for Caicedo at 6.4 probably is going to be Minter or Anderson. They're probably going to be the two that you go for. We're extremely close to 150 likes. So if you haven't already, make sure you are hitting that like button on today's stream. It would be greatly appreciated. Team news, we have none as of yet. Obviously, we'll keep waiting for some, see what we can get our hands onto. I played João Pedro. Maybe. I do not own Bruno Fernandes. Should I take a -4 Semenyo to Bruno Fernandes? I'm 8k overall. Probably not. I don't think it's worth the -4. Hey, you never know. They need to get better when Barry's scoring one way. Maybe giving them penalties might get their confidence up. That might be the trick to getting them scoring goals. I mean, if he plays, then it could be a great pick. If he doesn't, could be left with egg on your face. Bruno going forward is a must, and price will rise. He will keep rising. But I've said this since the start of the season. I've said, look, Bruno Fernandes is a player that has multiple avenues to points, no European football, no Carabao Cup football either, because they went out very early of that. He's going to play 90 minutes. It's ridiculous. Yoro or Dorgu probably would go Lenny Yoro. Yeah, I'm still I really would have liked to seen to been able to get a United midfielder, but just wasn't possible, was it? Who have Forest got for the next two? I literally just like thinking for the next two. What have they got for the next two? Everton away, not terrible. Not terrible. Again, though, we'd have to look for. Oh, hello. Those minutes look very good. What we got here? Defensive contributions, non-existent, really. Is he playing while Murillo's injured, I'm guessing? That would be my guess. Yeah, this is kind of where we're at right now. Chelsea's next two aren't bad, right? Bournemouth next week's not great. I mean, if he plays at 3.9, he could be worth the gamble. But again, is it going to be worth it, or is it worth just taking two into next week and just really assessing the situation and the lay of the land? Aina's apparently back. Cool. I sold Saw. Jamie had a feeling about him and he was right. Yeah, Jamie's usually gut feelings are pretty decent. They are pretty decent usually a lot of times across the board. Raya or Donnarumma? I have Arsenal defender as well. I mean, if you've probably got that Arsenal coverage, then I probably would go Donnarumma. Thank you for the super chat. He says, what do you think, Captain Mateta, Semenyo, Gakpo? Realistically, I think there's plenty of better options out there than all of them, to be honest. Mateta and Gakpo could be very explosive assets. Like, Gakpo is in good form at the moment. And I think with Liverpool, they're probably going to need to play him because he is their best player. So I probably would look at Gakpo. However, if I've got a Haaland, I've got a Bruno, I've got a Saka, those options for me would massively outweigh the options you've selected there. Who would you do Semenyo to Foden for in game week 15? Probably not. Again, we're heading just into mad fixture periods, really, where, yeah. Oh, Jamie. Oh, mate. Back into my old ways again. Always going up to summit. Back into my old ways again. Always up to Is Ramsdale worth a punt? I don't like making goalkeeper transfers, so I would probably say no, is how I would probably lean on that one. Abuemo or Haaland cap, I'm actually top 30k. Probably would go Haaland ahead of Abuemo. Yeah. I guess it's about time we did the coin flip, really, isn't it? Heads is Bruno Fernandes. Tails is Erling Haaland. All right. Tails. The coin has spoken. The coin has selected Erling Haaland as its option. Eesh. Eee. Whoops. So yeah, if anybody was a little bit unsure, yeah, the coin has selected Haaland. Thank you for helping today's stream hit 150 likes. Absolutely crazy stuff from you guys again. Love it. Love the continued support on the channel. Means the absolute world to me. Yeah. Not good. Not good. Pick the best Senesi and Saar replacement for me. For and Van Dijk and Anderson and Gakpo. Probably Van Dijk and Anderson. Clipped. Oh no. Oh no. Well, we're still sticking with Bruno. We're going with it. We're sticking with Bruno captain for this week. Bruno G or Barnes? Bruno G. Barnes is minutes are just too all over the place. Replace Senesi and Rodon with O'Reilly and Van de Heck. Budget is 9.5. We want the other sock off. All right. All right. We'll get the other sock off. Come on. Ow. There we go. If you can get it to 200 in the next 30 minutes, the trousers come off. Take the socks off for Tinia. There we go. Just done my own coin flip and it also went Haaland. Oof. Eesh. The holy coin, eh? The holy coin is chosen. It is chosen, eh? Thoughts on Rice? Yeah, I like Rice as an option. Pretty steady. Pretty steady indeed. Obviously, we'll be live for another half an hour. We'll do our final team review at 4, and then we'll let all the big boys go and do their thing. Bruno or Mbuemo? I prefer Bruno. Do you think Calafiori will start? I do, but it wouldn't shock me to see it go the other way. Start spamming dislike. You can't do that. You want to see it. I know what you all want. I know what you all want. Me in my trousers. It's what you all want. I prefer Chow ahead of Burn. From the long throws, Dan Burn takes the long throws and Chow's then there to win the flick on. I've said it so much now that I'm kind of speaking it into existence that Chow is going to win a flick on from a long throw. So yeah, that's what we're going with. Yoru or Dorgu? Probably Yoru. I've also done a coin flip and it got Haaland. Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's coin flip is coming up Haaland. I'm tempted on Mbuemo captain. If you're tempted, go for it. Like, it's a good fixture. It is a good fixture. I'm still... Look, guys, we're still backing the Bruno captain. Haaland could destroy us tonight. He very easily could. But this feels like a week where we should go against it. This does feel like a good week to go against it. So, yeah. Why is Richards doubtful? He's just not in some of the predicted lineups. So, that's purely the reason. Bruno Cappers, we must say strong. Oh, dear. Everybody's coin flips are coming up Haaland, but hey-ho, we're still here. Landed Haaland every single time. Abby, I think you know what you want to do then. That's a strange comment. I can't decide who to play, Minter or Thiago. Any advice? Thiago's a penalty taker. I never really like benching penalty takers. However, Brighton's home form is ridiculously good. They've only lost 2 home games all year. Meanwhile, Aston Villa, though, 1 loss in their last 12. So, you know, that game feels open. Feels like both teams are in pretty decent form. Yeah, massive sofa needed tonight for the game. Should I start Burn? Yeah, I'd start Burn. Always up to something. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Anything that you do have. I can't even find a coin. Oh, you've always got to have a coin around. You never know when you need it. O'Reilly or Timber? Who's the better pick? Probably Timber. Senesi to Canate? No. Should I sell Senesi? Depends what your bench cover's like. Thoughts on Salah and Thiago to Bruno and Isak, please. Not sure about Isak as a long-term pick, and I wouldn't be taking out Thiago right before he plays Wolves and Leeds in the next 2. So yeah, that's what I would go for. I need to do a coin flip to decide if we're going to play Richards or we're going to buy Van Heck. Heads is we're going to stick with Richards. Tails is we're going to buy Van Heck. Tails. Van Heck, hey? Can I take out Richards? Can I take out Richards? Everyone's saying it landed Haaland. Great. Can I take out Richards? That's the big question. He's not in the predicted lineup for tomorrow. So yeah. Is he going to start though? Like I've just seen so many predictions saying he's not going to start. Do I think Reinders starts? Probably not. Like again, City around this period, trying to predict that lineup. God knows. Start 1, Thiago away at Arsenal or Xhaka away at Liverpool. Probably Thiago. Who's the best keeper for game week 14? Probably like Matt Sells or Sanchez. Isak's a doubt with cramp. I haven't seen that. I thought he was all right. I had heard he was all right, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Everybody's coin's got Haaland. Why would he not start? Rest and rotation minutes. Like, they're all just going to be random benchings. It's nothing to do with injury. It's just managing minutes. Palace have just got a hell of a lot of fixtures coming up. So, yeah, he is probably one of those where minutes will be managed a little bit. Back into my ways again. He's not in FPL Meerkats lineups. Not in Meerkats lineups. Yeah, he's not in Meerkats lineups, so yeah, that's kind of where I sit on this one. We've already done a coin flip for Haaland. It landed Haaland. I am singing Tame Impala, if you can hear me humming along. Apparently Aina's back. Someone said Aina's back earlier in the chat, so probably not maybe a pickup. Eddie Howe talked about rotation in his press conference. Yeah, Eddie Howe's definitely going to do something mental, isn't he? Coin flip, Saka or Bruno. Tails is Saka's heads. And it's heads. There you go, Saka. Rice or Minter, 1 free transfer. Probably would prefer Minter. Any info on O'Reilly? Nothing as of yet. Would I take Layman's on a free hit? Yeah, probably would, actually. Probably would. I was thinking of doing Saw out for Anderson and Senesi out for Timber for a -4. Don't mind those moves. Yeah, I don't mind those moves. Do I think Chow might get rested? I mean, it's this weird week where it would not even surprise me to see. Yeah, it would genuinely not surprise me to see something like that happen. But I think his minutes have been just so good recently that I can't quite see it. Coin flip, Haaland or Mbeumo captain, please. Haaland is heads and Mbeumo is tails. Haaland is heads. You need a new coin. It's making me nervous. This is the holy coin. This is the holy coin. Helped us get that 8K finish last year. Best keeper on a wild card. I actually think Sanchez is just a great pick on a wild card for a cheap goalkeeper. Chelsea's numbers have been pretty steady. Fixtures are pretty decent after game week 20. So, yeah, just a good long-term pick. And Dai to Saka or Gui to Thiago. Gui to Thiago is probably the move next week, right? So, probably and Dai to Saka this week. What are we saying in terms of captaincy poll for this week? Haaland's still leading it. I'm not going to do one for Haaland or Bruno or Chow for this week. Coin, Alderente or take a hit to buy Chow. Heads is Chow. Tails is Alderente. Tails it is. Alderente. When does the chip change? Game week 19. They reset. Coin saw Haaland's YouTube videos and became too much of a fan. The coin, yeah, he's just probably got like perma watch on Haaland and just been like, yep. That's what it will be. The coin's just watching it and gone, yeah, we probably should stay away from that. If you're on a 0 free transfers, do you still get +1 transfers plus every game week? Yeah, so if I've used all my transfers up now, then in game week 15, I will get another transfer. But in game week 16, we will get 5 as long as you head into that week with 0. The final team review will be at 4 o'clock today. 4 o'clock today is going to be the final round of team reviews. I think there could be maybe some rotation for City. Would not surprise me one bit. If I had João Pedro, I probably would give him a start this week. My game week 50 transfer is something like Goodmanson to a Stev, lol. Yeah, I think mine, if I've still got to use it up, like I'm gonna go a Mateta to Thiago, and then if we've got another one, it might just be like getting Rodon up to like Van Heck. I don't actually hate that. Yeah, Rodon to like Van Heck maybe. I could see myself doing something like that because I don't think there's too much discrepancy between the two of them. So yeah, that might be a move we do next week. No worries. Best of luck to you as well. Best of luck to everybody in the chat as well. Thank you for a great stream. Start Thiago or Tavernier. I think if Tavernier's got penalties, I'd probably want to maybe start him. Interestingly, Everton have never won at the Vitality Stadium. So would be predicting quite a strong Bournemouth win tonight. Arteta better not rest him. There will be some rotation. There will be some mad benchings. Just be prepared for it this week is all I'm going to say to you guys. Yeah, there's going to be some crazy ones kicking about. So, yeah. Patrick pissed his pants Dorgu. Maybe, but the thing is, would I even play him? Like, at least with Van Heck, I could just probably wheel out a 4-back. I just don't trust the United defence. I think it's a good shout, but I just don't trust it. Bruno Kappas, rise up. We're here. We're here. It better work. It better work. I can see Haaland scoring tonight. I can definitely see him getting 1. Whether or not it's 2 is a different matter. Oh no, this week is going to be chaos. There's going to be some mad benchings. There are all going to be some mad benchings kicking about this week. It's kind of funny that I'm going to bet against Haaland cap, so I want to start Anderson, but I don't know if that really makes sense. I guess it's kind of like a win-win, isn't it? It also could be a massive lose-lose as well. Yeah, I don't trust Dorgu at all. Yeah. What's Man City's record against Fulham? Very good. The last time Fulham beat Manchester City was back in 2009. The last time that Fulham won at Craven Cottage versus Manchester City was 2005, so 20 years ago. So not a great record, shall we say. Not a great record. Do keep your questions coming in. Anything you've got before the deadline. Obviously, 15 minutes till the next round of team review. So get your teams sent in to me as always. Massively appreciate everybody that's been in today's stream. Absolute legends as always. If you are new to the channel as well, make sure you're hitting subscribe. We're trying to hit 22,000 subscribers before the end of the year. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Depends who you benching Thiago for, really, doesn't it? But I like Thiago. So yeah. I think he's out for 2 weeks, they've said so, and then obviously off to AFCON. I did not have Chow. I free hitted in 13. We've brought him in for this week. He was my Senesi replacement. Yeah, Fulham they really, really do struggle against Man City for some reason. So don't know what the reason is, but yeah, they definitely do struggle. Yeah, I probably game week 16 will be a period where if Palmer's minutes look good, we'll definitely try and probably have a little bit of a rejig and maybe make some moves towards Palmer. Yeah, I do think that will probably happen over the next few weeks. Do I start Chow over Dewsbury Hall? Yeah, I probably would. I probably would. Do you think Walter is a decent start this week? Yeah, I think it'll definitely start this week. Longer term, I would be a little bit worried about him with Visser kind of swimming around, starting to get some minutes, not off to AFCON. Yeah. That would be the one that would scare me. Do you think Saliba will start? No, I don't. I don't. If I had him, I'd still play him and then just make sure my bench cover's like ready. Ready to go, I guess. Do I think O'Reilly starts today? I'm going to go yes, but it would not surprise me to see him benched. Like I said, expect benchings this week. Genuinely expect them. They're coming. They are coming. No worries, mate. Happy to help people out. Haaland is still a solid captaincy option. Just because I've gone for Bruno doesn't mean that I don't think Haaland is a good captain. He's still an absolutely fantastic captaincy option. Oh, not the best bench cover. New subscriber playing free at the back, but have Timber, VVD, Gahey, Chalobah, and Chow. Really struggling to put Chow on the bench. Currently going, I think I probably still would go those three and bench Chow. Like, he's still going to be a good longer term pick anyway. So I wouldn't deep it too much. Should I take a hit for Foden? No. Yeah, any benching that happens this week, I wouldn't be like. There's gonna be some mad ones, and if it's not this week, it will be game week 14, which is at the weekend. So yeah, some pretty crazy moves are coming up, to say the least. Thiago and Rodon are my only bench cover. They'll be right. Maybe we might see 8 Nuri in action tonight. Saka to Fernandez, probably not. I would probably bench KDH. I just think the form and penalties that Thiago's got at the moment. Yeah. Deadline is at 6 o'clock UK time. So 2 hours and 10 minutes from now. Obviously, we'll be wrapping up the stream in a little bit, letting the big boys go and do their thing. So yeah. And Dye is just a solid 90, well, decent-ish minute man on penalties. I think unless there was like a really good option, like Bruno, if you've not got Bruno, I'd be tempted to maybe make that move. Other than that, yeah, I don't think I would. My team is struggling, lol. Not sure whether to take a -4. Replied to your post for review. Cool. Like I said, final round of reviews will be in 10 minutes time. Do I think Dango misses game week 16? Could be off to AFCON. There might be a few players that do go early for it. No worries, guys. So who am I captaining? We're going with Bruno. We're sticking with Bruno Fernandes. Here we are. Bruno in for Eze for a -4. I think I'd only do it if I was going to captain him. I guess that would be a nice move to get you to Saka to Semenyo next week. Yeah, probably would do it then, mate. Yeah, I probably would do that move then. That makes sense. I'd probably do that. If anybody does want their team, obviously reviewing or come chat to me, ask me any more questions after today's stream, make sure you're getting yourself in the FPL cartel. Me and Golden Goal will both be live after we conclude our streams in about 10 to 15 minutes anyway. How did my free hit go? Very well. 73 points. Big, juicy green arrow, so can't really complain too much about that one. Just moving the mic closer to me so I can lean back a little bit on my chair because my back is hurting a little bit. Like, I'm constantly sat like that for the whole stream. So by the end of these things, I am like knackered. Worth triple captaining Bruno this week. If you've got a gut feel, why not? Personally, for me, I think there probably are going to be better weeks where it will open up a little bit. I'm actually just going to check and see what review is saying over the next few weeks. Because it might be a case of, for the next few weeks, let's go all the way up to game week 18. Yeah, Haaland in 17 still looks like the best one. 7.9 projected there. 7.2 next week for Haaland. 7.2 this week for Bruno. So yeah, it's not a bad week. It's not a bad week. Second best for predicted points on Thingy. Next week's a good week. Well, the weekend's a good week for Haaland. Game week 17 also pretty well fancied for Erling Haaland as well. What do you think is a good team value at this point? Maybe like 102? Start Thiago or Reinders? I would probably go Thiago. What benching order would you go for with those, and Welbeck on the bench? I'm guessing there was another question to that one. I didn't see it, so you might need to send that one in again. Which two to start? Haaland, Thiago, João Pedro. Haaland, João Pedro. 80 points in game week 13 with no chips played. Contemplating going for another row captain this game week. Thoughts on Gakpo captain? I don't hate it. He is Liverpool's best player, but I would be a little bit skeptical. That maybe an early substitution or something. Chow or Welbeck? I would probably start Welbeck ahead of Chow if I had him this week. Brighton have got a pretty decent home record. Great content as always. Would you take a hit to take out and die for Bruno? If I was going to captain Bruno, then yes. Other than that, maybe not. But I do think Bruno is going to be a player that will be very, very good for the next few weeks. Obviously, Wolves next week as well. So the -4 could very easily be worth it. Forster and Puemo captain over Haaland. Again, it is a great fixture for Manchester United, given West Ham's poor defensive record. There will be goals in that game. There will be goals for Manchester United. So I don't hate it. My bench is Rodon, Caicedo, and Senesi. Means I'm having to play Fleming up top. Brought him in for a bench boost a while ago. Jesus. Thoughts on Mateta over Bruno? I don't really like Mateta in case there is some early substitution. Interestingly, Burnley have only conceded 6 goals at home all season, despite being the worst defense in the league as well. So yeah. Yeah, I know there would be, but from like watching his performances and like if you look at the underlying data, he is your best player, like best for non-penalty XGI, ahead of Mohamed Salah, ahead of all the other attackers as well. Like Szoboszlai for the team is definitely FPL wise, it probably is Gakpo, right? What do I mean by let the big boys do their thing? So like your Harrys, your Andys, all these other guys, Raptor Ross, all these. And just let them stream, let them go and do their thing. We've had some fun. Let them go and, they'll have like thousands of people in their streams and stuff like that. So, yeah. I have Captain Bruno Guimaraes, fair play. What are your thoughts on King to Mateta and Senesi to Chow for a -4? Don't mind that as a -4. Do not mind that as a -4. 4 minutes till we do some team reviews, guys, and then we'll be wrapping up today's stream. Like I said, we've gone with the Haaland captain. We're going balls to the walls. Hopefully it pays off. I hope. I still would probably play Mateta. Because, like, Burnley, like I said, are the worst side for expected goals conceded. They still are. They're still a poor defence. Mateta will get opportunities, even in that 60-minute spell. And he's on penalties as well, so benching a penalty taker never feels like a good option to me, personally. That's how I feel about it anyway. Mateta or Thiago? I think you play Mateta this week for the fixture, right? You go Mateta this week for the fixture. Yeah, I get that. Saka captain, good. He's all right. He's not a bad option. I just think probably there are better options. Haaland and Bruno probably rank higher for me anyway. I probably wouldn't go near any Crystal Palace players for me right now. Just, yeah, there is going to be rotation. There is going to be players getting injured because just the pure amount of games they've got to play. Probably wouldn't go anywhere near it. Right. Shall we get some team reviews done? Let's get some team reviews done, and let's wrap up today's stream after that. What one am I looking for? This one. Hello. How many have we had sent in? Okay, I think we've had a decent amount sent in. Where was the one we got up to? I feel like we would have done these 50 minutes ago, probably done them. 39 minutes ago, probably did that one. 35, probably did that one. I feel like I did that one as well. Maybe this one we haven't done. Thanks in advance. 1 free transfer, 6.1 million in the bank. Already did Saar to Anderson. Any other suggestions? No, I probably would just leave that there. I think that would be completely fine with me. Start Semenyo or Thiago. I'd probably go Semenyo on that one. Saar to Bruno. Yep, good move. How's my team looking? Bench boost active. Steady. You're just hoping for no rotation this midweek round. Didn't want to take a -4 to take Millie up to Minter and have benched him, so risking he'll start a solid performance of the weekend. Yeah, I don't think it's worth a -4, so yeah, you'll be fine. Transferred in Minter for Ndai. Don't like benching Thiago. Tavernier, but Tavernier seems to play 90 minutes and on penalties during the second half. Yeah, if he's got the penalties, I would probably say he's the better pick this week. Under my bed with the Minter captain. Wow. Fair play. Hopefully it works out, but could be a scary one, that one. Could be a very scary one. Right, that is going to conclude the stream and obviously the team reviews as well. Thank you very much for everybody that has been in today's stream. Absolute legends, as always. It's been a big one, 3 hours. My voice is a little bit crackly, as you can hear, so I'm going to have a throat sweet, get my voice back for tonight's game. Find the biggest sofa in the world as well to watch Haaland a little bit later tonight. Come and chat to me over in our Discord server as well. Click the link to the sub launch, get yourself in there. And yeah, team reviews, questions, all that good stuff. Come and check it out. Completely free for 30 days. So what are you waiting for? Come and sign up in that one. And yeah, thank you very much, everybody, for this week. Best of luck in midweek game week 14. There'll be videos, plenty of videos throughout the week as well. Thank you very much. Like, subscribe on your way out as well. Massively appreciated. Best of luck, and up the Bruno captain.